You've done well, Mr. Reuter. You did something awful, but you've covered your tracks. It's done. The last transcript that shows I did a semester of electrician school.
Uncover evidence of the proudest plumber, Mr. Reuter.
At Fountain Tire, success is a team effort. They're committed to their team members and their customers. And that means treating your vehicle like it's their own and finding solutions that suit your needs. Because whatever the road brings ahead, they're on it with you. Visit FountainTire.com today.
Alberta is growing, but our highways are crumbling. Are you tired of the rough ride? In the last 15 years, our population has grown with hundreds of thousands more cars and trucks on our highways. Today, more than 15% of Alberta's highways are in poor condition. Cutting highway maintenance doesn't save money. It makes repairs more expensive. Don't let the government ignore the problem. Your MLA works for you. Tell them to fix our roads. Visit fixourroads.com for more information.
A message from the Alberta Road Builders and Heavy Construction Association.
From the local rinks to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of CanTorque. CanTorque has always been a forward-thinking company, but now that we've turned 25, I can't help but take a minute to take a look back. Thank you to everyone that's been with us along the way.
The Jason Gregor Show.
Let's get it down to
On Sports 1440.
If that goal is showing what it is, South Africa going to find a way forward. It's fallen once again to Mexico. Sliding sticks. Chance after chance after chance.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
I think it was about the hour mark, just before the hour mark. Makes you wonder why he didn't start. All over the top towards Saliba. Saliba bringing it down. Across it. Promise David and Canada get one back.
After 2 o'clock, how are you? And welcome to the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. As always, we very much appreciate you taking time out of your day to share it with us. Have us part of your day. We never take it for granted. So thank you for listening. Those of you who are watching, those of you who end up engaging and texting the show, calling the show, emailing the show, we very much always appreciate you being a part of it. It is Thursday, beautiful day outside, man. It's nice to have the sun again. We went, it seemed like forever with no sun. So it's yesterday was great. I don't know how about you, being outside walking more, just it's nice. Sadly, it's going to rain again on the weekend. But enjoy it while we can. And it is a game day, of course. Elks on the road to take on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers as the Elks look to try to remain perfect on the season. Start 3-0 for the first time since 2017. They actually started 7-0 that year. That was the streaking edition of the Elks. Well, the Eskimos then. 1-7, lost 5. Or sorry, 1-7, lost 6, won 5 in a row. Kind of a crazy season for that club. The Elks say they just hope to keep the things rolling. And mainly offensively, Justin Rankin, who is off to a fantastic start. He's already has 426 yards, from scrimmage through 2 games. The CFL record, and this might be not the greatest record of all time, but I find it unbelievable that a record like this, one guy owns the record, but in 2 different seasons, he had the exact same amount of yards. 2,414 for Mike Pringle in 1994, and then again in 1998. First time he had 1972 rushing, 442 receiving. 1998, 2,065 yards rushing and 349 yards receiving. The fact that it's identical is just weird to me, but it's awesome. So that's the record in the CFL for yards from scrimmage. Rankin's at 426 through 2 games. He has 16 games to go. If he averages 124.3 yards per game, he would break the record. Right now, this is how good of a season. He's on pace for 3,800 yards from scrimmage. Now, I don't think that's going to maintain. It's tough to get 213 yards a game. But that's what this guy's been doing through 2 games. I don't think people talk about how dominant Justin Rankin has been so far this season. Like, we're talking, he could smash the CFL record. He could also become the first player in CFL history to have 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving. Like, if you look at the top 5 guys in yards from scrimmage, you got Mike Pringle, 1972 rushing, Pringle 2,065 rushing, Robert Mims 1,767 rushing, John Cornish 1,813 rushing, Willard Reeves 1,733. The most receiving yards one of them had was 448. That was Pringle. Mims had 438. Willard Reeves had 407. Like, those guys were just pounding the ball, rushing it, which is great. It's awesome. But that's what makes Rankin so versatile. He can run the ball, he can break tackles, catches the ball in the backfield, and it's fun to watch. So how will the Bombers slow him down? Now, if this was the Winnipeg Blue Bombers of the last few seasons, maybe concerned. Do you know the last guy who had 100 yards rushing against the Bombers? Connor Halley? Justin Rankin. And this season, like, the Bombers, for the last few years, they've been pretty good limiting teams from scoring touchdowns in the red zone. Not this year. They've allowed 8 touchdowns through the first 2 games. So if you're the Elks, you're thinking, hey, you know what? We can put up some points here. Because if you look at it, Hamilton had touchdown passes of 23, 11, and 4 yards, and they had a 1-yard quarterback sneak. Calgary had rushing touchdowns of 1, 1, and 3 yards while connecting on a 22-yard touchdown pass. So the Bombers have given up, in the red zone, 6 touchdowns. One was a 23-yard pass, and the other one's a 22-yard pass. So 8 touchdowns they've allowed so far. So the Elks, this isn't the Bombers who went to 5 consecutive Grey Cups and who were lethal defensively. Like, barely could you run on them and barely could you score in the red zone. Early on this year, that's not who they are. So we'll see if Edmonton, and right now, looking at the weather, there's talk of maybe a thunder shower at some point, which anybody who's ever watched a game in Winnipeg, like, it can be crazy weather there. We've seen them having to postpone games before, torrential downpour, sure. But right now, it looks like maybe a threat of a thunderstorm later in the game. That's it. But the game should start with dry field conditions, which would be the first time for the Elks this year. I don't know if that's good or bad, Connor Halley. In theory, I think it's good because I don't know if we really know the new receivers. Austin Mack, obviously the quarterback has a lot of faith in him. There's certain passes. Cody Fajardo doesn't have the strongest arm to begin with, so even in great conditions, he's limited a little bit in some of the throws he makes. But when it's wet out, like, we really haven't seen what some of these other guys potentially can do.
100%. And I think, when you look at Mack, you look at Luther, I think these are guys who can do damage after the catch. And when you're playing in those conditions, that makes it a little bit tougher, right? You're not necessarily putting that foot down, planting, taking it the other way. So I think those are the guys. And yes, Cody Fajardo doesn't have the strongest arm, but, can he make that 30-yard pass? Yeah, you'll take that. Can he hit guys in stride? I think so. And let them do the rest of the work. I think, it's good to show that you can win in that rain. And I think they had an hour of rain in Winnipeg. It's going to be 23, 24 tonight. Perfect football conditions. I think they'll take that any day of the week here. And a good opportunity for these new receivers to really make a name, because the first 2 weeks, those conditions made it extremely tough.
Oh, yeah. It was not ideal by any stretch of the imagination for sure. So 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. That's where you can text us your thoughts on the Elks and what they can do this season. I've always said it, and last year we saw it. The Elks became competitive, and there were games in that season, nice weather outside, 28,000, close to 30,000 fans. Obviously, their one home game this year was like the worst conditions possible. Shout out to those of you who decided to bring multi-layers of raincoats because it was pouring. Right? That's going to impact the game. I know people are like, yeah, but the World Cup game, I'm like, oh, yeah, you mean like the only World Cup qualifier that's ever going to happen probably in your history? Like, when's the next time Canada's going to be part of the World Cup? Probably for multiple generations. Right? At least multiple decades, I should say, not necessarily generations, but at least multiple decades. So there's lots of fans who go because it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Different. Right? Even if you're a season ticket holder to the Elks, you're like, yeah, I paid for my ticket. And I don't want to sit there in a monsoon. So I get it. But their next home game, at worst, they're going to be as 2-2. At best, 4-0, maybe 3-1. And if you have decent weather, I think that Thursday night game against Ottawa, you're going to have a pretty decent crowd. So we'll see how it goes. Coming up on the program today, Derek Taylor. We'll talk the Bomber side of things. We got Dave Owens, Terry Ryan, Jeff Merrick, host of The Sheet, will join us. We got Tater, Landon Ferraro, Mark Spector, Eddie Steele from Elks Nation, and Sports 1440 will break down the battle in the trenches tonight on both sides. The one thing that's made the Bombers so good in the red zone the last few years is they could continually get pressure from their front four. They didn't have to blitz. They were able to go zone coverage. And when you go zone coverage in the red zone, it's a lot harder, to complete some passes at times. Right? It's different when you got the whole field. There's not really the threat of having to go over top, right? So when you can constantly get pressure from your front four, that helps. Now, Rankin's a little bit different of a beast. You look and say, hey, you want to rush four and everybody else drops back? Great. We'll just throw it out in the flat here to Rankin, and you get that guy in open space, he's going to make somebody miss a tackle. Might not be on every time, but eventually it's going to happen, and we've seen that so far this season. NHL today, what the hell's going on? It's 2:10. Do they not realize we need trades? No, I'm kidding. It's been a great week of trades, and we've seen lots of them. I could see it being, a little bit slow for maybe today or tomorrow. The Friday of the NHL draft, historically, there's not a ton of trades. Teams are now focused on their draft. Now, this year might be different. I hope it is. But we've already seen teams trade into the top. So, some of those trades, rather than wait till draft day and you're the team, now you get more time to prepare. Right? Okay, I got the 4th. I got the 9th. We'll see how it unfolds tomorrow. But I'm looking forward to it. There's still some rumblings like San Jose. Would they consider moving the number 2 pick? And I could see why you would consider it and say, you know what? We don't, because I think at times everybody gets caught up in it's a number 2 pick. And you always think of, well, it's a number 2 pick. Best case scenario, this one is going to be great. Right? That's what everybody thinks. So if you look at the number 2 pick, for instance, and like who's the greatest number 1 overall pick? Like, I'd probably have to say Mary Lemieux. Right? Which is a hard question. Because you got Mary Lemieux, you got Sidney Crosby, you got Alexander Ovechkin, you got Connor McDavid, you got a lot of good players. But it might be Mary Lemieux. The number 2 greatest pick, probably Marcel Dion. 1,771 points. I think it's got to be him. So we would see. But it is, if you look at the recent history of the 2nd overall pick in the NHL, lately, it hasn't been that great. Right? Here's the last since 2016, because Jack Eichel, obviously, he was a pretty good pick. But Patrick Laine started out really well. Injuries, he's become okay. Nolan Patrick, obviously injuries and everything else, never lived up to it. Andrei Svechnikov has been a good player, but not like a dominant franchise player by any stretch of the imagination. Capo Caco, Quinton Byfield, Matty Beniers, Simone Nemec just got traded. Then you have Leo Carlsson. Now, I really like Leo Carlsson, right? I think he is projecting to look very good, right? Lev Shinov. Like, there's people in Chicago, it's interesting. They're kind of like, now it's early. And then Michael Misa. So everybody just assumes, oh, you're going to get a great player. If I'm the San Jose Sharks and someone wants to offer me a legit NHL player, I'd consider it. Right? Like, I don't know how good Stenberg's going to be. Like, everybody's hiring him. But what's he going to be? Is he going to be Jack Eichel good? Or is he going to be Matt Beniers good? Or Quinton Byfield good? Or Andrei Svechnikov good? Alexander Barkov good? Hey, that was a great pick, right? What about Ryan Murray? Now, who knows? Maybe there'll be Hedman or Doughty. Back-to-back, those two number 2 overall picks, damn good. But it is not just a stone-cold mortal lock that you're getting an elite player at number 2, right? It's not. And that's why I understand why Chicago made the trade for number 4. Because you know what you have in Bowen Byram. And you're still not 100%. He could be more, but at least he's a 40-point defenseman. At least. Play 21 minutes a night for you. That's kind of what the floor is now for Bowen Byram. We've never seen him get to be the main guy in a team. He's played behind Dahlin. He's played behind Makar. Pretty good players. Who knows how? Look at Darren Radish. What happened when he got opportunity? Now, not everybody's going to be Darren Radish. I get it. But, look at the 3rd draft pick over the last few years. Right? Pierre-Luc Dubois, Miro Heiskanen, Jesperi Kakaniemi, Kirby Doc, Tim Stutzla, Mason McTavish, Logan Cooley, Adam Fantilli. It's still early, of course, right? Like, talking about last year's pick, it's unfair, right? In 2024, Beckett Seneke, pretty good pick, right? Really like him. Anton Frondell, Chicago. They're pretty happy with him, but what's he going to be? I don't know yet. It's too early for those guys. But if you're a team that's sitting there and you're like, yeah, I can get this guy, but if someone comes and if someone was offering me Matthew Nyes for the number 2 pick, I'm making that trade all day long. I'm the San Jose Sharks. I've got a boatload of cap space. I'm getting a guy who's 23 years of age, who's a power forward, who's under contract for 5 more years. I do it all day. So we'll see what transpires. There seems to be a little bit more chatter potentially coming up at the draft this year for some trades. Now, historically, we've had a lot of I can't complain because we've had a lot of trades this week with some legit good players. So we'll see. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, Gregor, is Byram going to be on the first line power play? Yeah, 100%. He's going to be running their power play on. They don't have any defensemen. Vlasic, Lev Shinov. They got a lot of younger guys, younger than him. He will be quarterback in their first unit power play. No question. Hey, Gregor, what about Nurse for number 2? Yeah. That's different. Nurse is 30. He's got 4 years left at 9.25. Matthew Nyes is only 23. So, no, I wouldn't do that if I was the San Jose Sharks. And my understanding is right now, Darnell Nurse's trade list is Eastern Conference teams. And Pittsburgh, Philly, Boston. Those are 3 I know for sure. I'm not sold that there's any more than that right now. There might be another one, but those are the 3 I know that I can say guaranteed they're on the list. Quick break. We will come back. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Sports, live dealer, lottery, instance, casino in one place. PlayAlberta.ca.
Action Electrical Solar Team is now making a play for sustainability and savings. They're specialists in powering up for a greener future.
That's the strategy. Designing and installing high-efficiency solar panels. They're helping homes and businesses combat rising utility costs by harnessing the power of the sun.
A smart move for efficiency and the environment. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Get ready for a night of rock with the Gene Simmons Band. Monday, November 30th at Silent Ice Center in Nisku. The Gene Simmons Band, performing your favorite classic hits. Monday, November 30th at Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Tickets on sale now at silenticecenter.com. Don't miss the Gene Simmons Band.
Are new McCafe crafted sodas just drinks or something more? Like Sprite Berry Bliss, Creamy Strawberry Coke, and Orange Dream. All swirled with fizzy flavor and topped with silky cold foam. Only at McDonald's. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
Are you a skilled laborer? All Star Construction wants to talk to you. A heavy equipment operator with trackhoe or backhoe experience? All Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with trackhoe or backhoe experience searching for work, search All Star Construction on Indeed.
Cheering on Canada, Mexico, Australia, France, England, Brazil, Germany, Spain, and the rest of the world at the Druid Irish Pub.
Your World Cup headquarters.
Wear your colors, cheer on your team, and enjoy $6.50 Heineken every game.
Plus, your chance to win a ton of World Cup merch,
including hoodies, jerseys, soccer balls, and more.
The Druid Irish Pub, your World Cup headquarters.
Bringing Edmonton together, one soccer game at a time.
The Druid Irish Pub.
Cheer with us in the Mercer Building across from Rogers Place and Ice District.
Okay, new strategy. I'll just live in the freezer till October. It's spacious in here. It's spacious.
There's a better way to survive the coming AC season. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. We offer convenient financing options and fast appointments so you can enjoy your entire home, not just the freezer.
Now I can leave the frozen peas where they belong.
Book now at prosolutionsinc.ca.
Looking for mental health or addiction support, but not sure where to start? Contact 211. 211 Alberta can help you navigate treatment and recovery options, counseling, crisis services, and more. And because life's challenges are often connected, they can also help you find food, housing, and employment support. It's free, confidential, available 24/7, and offered in more than 240 languages by phone. 211 Alberta. One number, countless connections.
A message from the Government of Alberta.
Photographers, start your cameras. Vision Credit Union's annual photo contest is back. We're asking you to show us the people, places, and moments that made you glad you chose this rural life. Maybe it's the view from your farm, a walk down Main Street, neighbors pitching in, a weekend at the rodeo, or a sunset down a back road. Share your photo to show why life in rural Alberta is a choice worth celebrating. Enter and vote at whatsyourshare.ca.
Think a quality golf cart is out of your budget? Think again. At the Golf Cart People, we have a fantastic selection of fully inspected, pre-owned carts starting at just $4,500. Choose from gas, electric, or lithium-ion power to fit your lifestyle. And the best part, every used cart comes with a 1-year warranty for total peace of mind. Why wait? Get the cart you've always wanted today. Visit the Golf Cart People. Find out more at golfcartpeople.com.
Portions of this hour are brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.22. Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley. So we roll through on a lovely Thursday afternoon, and wish tonight would have been the night the Elks had a home game. Well, hey, at least they have a game on the road where we think there will be no rain. Dare to dream. Let's get to the CFL report, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where the rates never change. No overtime charges. That's how you build a legacy at legacyheating.ca. All day, all night, they'll help you make sure your furnace and AC is up to snuff. The Bombers and the Elks kick off week 4 in the CFL tonight in Winnipeg, as we are joined by Derek Taylor, the voice of the Bombers. DT, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. It's weird having that week 3 bye. I was all jacked for the season, but they made me wait for Bombers Elks, which I'm excited to watch tonight.
Give me your thoughts on the Bombers, who for years, man, like you got to the red zone, you couldn't score on them. They've allowed 8 touchdowns, and 6 of them have come inside the 20 this year. Is something changed defensively for them, or is it just a matter of time that you just couldn't maintain that level of dominance inside the 20?
Yeah, there was that one outlier season, right, in 2021, where I think they allowed under 13 opponent offensive points a game. And so here in Winnipeg, we a lot of times use that as a frame of reference, even though that is absurd and one of the greatest defenses of all time. So the few years after that, they've been number 1 in the league in points allowed, right? But it's in the 20s, the 21, the 22. This year, offenses are going bonkers, and the Bombers are off to a slow start. It's third year under Jordan Younger, their defensive coordinator. Last year, they had a slow start as well. So I in my heart, I feel like, okay, it's probably just a slow start, and they'll figure it out by morphing this defense once again. But there is a little bit of a concern of, man, Hamilton on those deep shots got pretty much everything they wanted. And if Cody Fajardo and Austin Mack or TJ Luther decide that's the play tonight, I'll be curious to see how it goes and watch it through like my slightly covered eyeballs, because I'm confident it'll get better, but I'm not 100% confident, if you know what I mean, Jason. I have some doubt.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure the Elks, like Fajardo just doesn't have Bo Levi Mitchell's arm, right? So
you're right.
So that's the one element that maybe they got going for him. But what Hamilton doesn't have is they don't have Justin Rankin. And Justin Rankin right now through 2 weeks is, he's set to absolutely obliterate the yards from scrimmage record. Like, it's stupid how good of a start he's at, averaging 213 yards a game between receiving and rushing. So how do you feel the Bombers, because not a lot of teams have had success running the ball, but Justin Rankin, I think, was the last guy who had 100 yards against him. So what do you think the game plan is to try to slow him down?
Yeah, it's got to be stop the run, but I say that knowing that they would have tried to stop the run against Calgary and Dedrick Mills in week 1, and he hit them for 100 yards. And, you would have paid attention to the run in the last game against Hamilton, and Larry Roundtree banged him for over 100 yards. So I think as I look around, when you look at the stats from the Elks so far, you go, okay, nothing stands out other than Rankin, right? He's the leading rusher. He's the leading receiver. Austin Mack, sure, 2 touchdowns, but what is he, 74 yards? Luther, okay, those numbers are pretty respectable for his first couple of games, but there's not a ton of other threats at this moment. So I think you have to go in thinking, okay, we can't allow any holes. We can't have guys out of their gaps, and we can't have any of these guys throwing shoulders at dudes. That was the thing from the Hamilton game of, oh, hey, one guy sort of got Larry Roundtree, the running back, another guy's in there, and a third guy comes in trying to drop a bomb, not seeing that Roundtree escaped the first 2 tackles, and Roundtree races 20 yards downfield. You go, okay, if you ever wanted to be sure about your tackles, it's against the guy who's the best, the second best going running back in the Canadian Football League, wherever you want to put him. Because, man, there's nobody who turns 7 into 70 better than Justin Rankin in our league.
Yeah, very, very true. Now, what about this offense of the Bombers? Well, what are the Elks defense who won't have Nick Anderson in the middle? What do they need to be leery of?
Yeah, so I would say diversity of attack, right? They can run the ball with Brady Oliveira, over 100 in the first game. It was a little tighter against Hamilton. But then, last year toward the end of the season, the receiving core was not very good at all, thanks to injuries and just lack of quality. Now they have a diverse range of weapons, right? Tommy Neal's the leading receiver, but Tim White's probably the most dangerous. But then Pokey Wilson is probably the best deep threat. But then Nick Dembski can do kind of everything. And then Gavin Cobb or the tight end or Oliveira on the backfield can certainly chip in as well. So Zach Collaros has a ton of ways, and Tommy Condell, the offensive coordinator, have a ton of ways in which they can attack you. If the Elks show something, I think the Bombers can have the guy and can find a way to take advantage of it. They're scoring more than last year, but with the uptick in scoring in the CFL, they're still 7th in points scored, which makes me go, okay, are they normal and the whole league is going to regress, or is everybody going to regress and the Bombers are back where they were last year? There's a lot to try to still learn about this offense.
Where are you at with the Drew Brown acquisition? Obviously Collaros is their main guy, but did you see Brown getting in at all, or is this just a security blanket?
I think it's 100% a security blanket for a guy that Ottawa didn't want. The Bombers very pointedly did not give up anybody on their current roster to make this deal happen. So for a team that thinks they can compete, this is a real good move. Zach missed games with injury last year. He missed one with suspension as well, but he missed games and he missed halves of other games with injury, and they had to go to Chris Strevler. Well, this year it would have been a rookie from CIS, or it would have been a guy who is brand new to the Canadian Football League, though he's 29 years old. So by getting Drew Brown, they get a guy they had for 3 years. The Bombers had him for 3 years and loved him. And he's a guy who's worked under offensive coordinator Tommy Condell the past 2 years in Ottawa. So to me, it's all covered for this season. And then, it gives them a lot of flexibility next season. Is Zach here? Well, Drew could be the backup again. If Zach gone, well, Drew could compete for the starter job. So I love this move on a number of levels, and I certainly love the fact it didn't cost them anything off of today's roster to make it work.
Derek Taylor joins us. Derek, early on, because obviously I know you don't just cover the Bombers, you watch the whole league very closely, and you've always been a number of guys. You look at it early on, and there's only 2 games, maybe 3 for some teams. Edmonton and Winnipeg have each only played 2. What are, outside of Rankin's numbers, which are crazy, what are some of the other numbers that have caught your eye early on this year in the CFL?
Oh, what is it? Top 10 receivers, 7 of them are Canadian. I love that, right? How much do we love how that's working with Tyson Philpott leading the league in receiving. And then, scoring is just at an absolutely absurd level, and we're all trying to dial in exactly why that is, right? If you include the playoffs last year, it was like 52.8 points per game. They're at literally 62.8 points per game through the first 3 weeks of the season. And, when you watch, you think, okay, this feels like while the NFL, is trying to play these shell coverages and these umbrellas and keep everything underneath, for whatever reason, teams are able to find, okay, we've got one-on-one with our wide receiver on the corner. We're going to take that. What Bo Levi Mitchell's field day is one-on-one coverage on the outside. Yes. Bang, it's gone, right? Trevor Harris in that game against Calgary last week was just, okay, here's a speed out. Now here's Kean Schaefer-Baker across the middle. Oh boy, teams are really humming the ball down the field, and it's probably, the deep shots are probably connecting at an unsustainable level, but damn, is it fun right now, because it gives us 2 overtime games last week, the big comeback from Calgary last week. Calgary week 1 had the comeback drive against the Bombers, but left too much time on the clock. There's just, I know there's people who love the defense, but man, offense sells tickets, and it's selling it right now.
When you look at the deep balls, there's lots of rookie secondary guys early on this year. Like, there's been a real big turnover of secondary players. And I look at Edmonton and they've had none. And I really wonder how much of an advantage that is for them early in the year.
Oh, it's got to be massive, right? And the Bombers pivoted on that this past season where they'd gone rookies on the corners. They just always felt they could find rookies and first contract guys on the corners because it's a spot that American kids can figure out pretty quickly. But we'll keep the interior together, right? The two halfbacks, the safety, and the dime. But they said, oh yeah, this isn't working anymore. We're going to get Jonathan Moxey to come in, right? Because we can't count on rookies to be able to hold this down because receivers and offenses are just too good. That Calgary game last week, I was in Calgary for that game. And man, that Calgary drive, the final one was aided by the fact that an injury forced Malcolm Bell into the game. And Calgary went, all right, we're going to hammer a couple out to that field side where you've plopped Malcolm Bell and see what he can do. And they ended up with some giant chunk plays, right? So yeah, to be able to keep your back six together, to be able to last season, was it last season that Garnes came in or he just popped out last season? He went, oh, okay, this guy's a for real deal. This is the guy that Edmonton needs to hold on to like grim death. Like you do need those veterans in the back because we're not going to get any less passing in the league. The field may shrink, but we're not getting any less passing in the Canadian Football League.
Where do you come out on, well, we've already seen some rule changes in this year. Obviously new overtime, and we've needed it because there's been a lot of overtime early on this season. But what's your expectations of when the full rule changes come in next year?
There's going to be, I know the CFL said there's more touchdowns but less scoring. I really think taking 10 yards out of the field, if they say put the ball at the 35, the scoring's going up, right? Just a change in moving the balls from the 35 to the 40-yard line the last couple of years, last 3 years, whatever it is, has led to an uptick in scoring. I think there's a lot more scoring to come, even if we're taking field goals off the board. And this is the thing I've planted my flag on, Jason. I mean, if you're at the 40-yard line, you're facing the prospect of a 62-yard field goal on 3rd and 5. You're not going to punt for field position. I don't know that coaches should be punting for field position in that spot. I think onside punts, I want them to just go bonkers with onside punts because, man, these Australian kids, with how we see them manipulate the football, if you keep two guys behind, one to each side, and say, hey, you know what, just fire something down there, a sidewinder or a spinner or a banana or whatever you call it, and give us something. I think I'd be practicing my onside punts for the entire preseason next year, just because if you can get the ball back and, the worst case scenario is they get the ball at their 10, to me, that's such a massive play that if it goes that way, I'm not sure the CFL's ready for it, honestly.
Oh, wow. I can tell you, I've talked to people in a few markets, and the amount of trickery that you were seeing on kickoffs, Derek, you're onto something, man. I'm telling you, I've seen it in practice. I've talked to guys around the league, and I think whether it's going to be later this year or next year for sure, I think we're going to start to see some of it because you're right. Like what the kickers can do now with the ball is wild, right? Like it's just, you remember the onside kick used to be, okay, everybody line up. Now the guy is going to float it up in the air and maybe you can touch it. Not anymore. Yep. It's so different.
Yeah, it's going to begin. And then I've talked to Jamison Sheehan, the Bombers punter, about it a lot. Guy went to school in America, but grew up in Australia, playing, having kick-arounds. And he said, I've probably shown you 30% of what I can do with the football. And I think of all the punts, I could probably name 7 different punts I've seen from him. And you go, man, when you grow up, like this is totally different than what we're used to as North Americans, right? Like, so, hey, this one's going to spin and it's going to stop dead on the 1 yard line. Or this one's going to spin, hook away from the guy, come back, jump, spin around, leap up into your hands, and you're going to run it into the end zone. It would be silly not to try to harness what these guys can do if they're going to be your punter, and you're going to be forced to situations where it's not really risking the ball leaking into the end zone is not a risk you want to take. Let's go onside and let's see if we can keep this football. I'm gonna love it, and then I'm probably gonna go tired of it if they really go super hard at it.
Yeah, Derek, great stuff, man. Have a good call tonight, and quickly update on the weather.
25 degrees currently. Tiny chance of showers, but nothing that should affect the game, says our weather guy.
Oh, well, the Elks, they won't know what to do because they've been used to monsoon weather. So we'll see.
Fingers crossed. It's always fingers crossed.
There you go. Thanks, Derek. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
There you go. That's Derek Taylor, voice of the Bombers. And hey, Connor, ask and you shall receive. We joked about it last segment. Come on, NHL, we need a trade today. And boom, there's another trade with another significant NHL player. The Colorado Avalanche have traded Valeri Nichushkin. He has 4 years remaining at $6.125 million. He goes from the west of Colorado to the east and the Columbus Blue Jackets. And Colorado gets a 2026 second rounder, a 2027 third rounder, and a 2028 fifth round pick. Now, Nichushkin, he is, I'm not sure, what is he? When he's on, man, he's a big beast. But he scored, 49 points last year? His career high is 53. He scored 20 goals 3 times in his career. He's a good player. Can be a little inconsistent. We all know what happened in the playoffs and leaving the team and girl in the hotel, and it did not look good at all. And he was okay last year for them. I'm not so, now, second, third, and a fourth. They didn't give up a lot. Did Columbus? This is somewhat of a salary dump here for Colorado, and they free up cap space. And I'm curious, freeing up cap space is great, but what are you going to do with it? Because there's just not a lot of guys out there in free agency, right? Alex Tuck's, he went to Washington, so we take him off the list. So which forwards are there? Are they going after Ovechkin? Nah, I don't think so. Anders Lee? Maybe. Anthony Mantha? No, Anthony Mantha. That, I could see that depending on cost, but I could see them looking bigger body. At times going to be a little inconsistent. Maybe they think they can get him for less than $6.125 million. There's Matt Zuccarello, Mason March. Ooh, Mason Marchment. I could see that. So they free up the money to go there. And it was interesting. If you're a Columbus fan, I wonder how concerned you are when your GM today says, hey, we're going to talk with Zach Werenski. We want to keep it internal, but we're going to talk. We don't really have a plan yet. That raises a little bit of a red flag concern. Guy just won the Norse. He's your best player. You hope he doesn't want to leave. And maybe, adding more players to try to say, hey, guys, we're trying to compete here. Zach, don't worry. Interesting. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll get you feeling good on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Albertans love to debate the best way to enjoy summer sports.
No. Playing on the field is the best, man.
No way. Watching from the sidelines, way more relaxing.
You're both crazy. Checking out the game from the Bro Zone is where it's at.
But there's one thing every sports fan agrees on.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky.
Wherever you catch the action, load up on Alberta's best beef jerky.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky, because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Ranger-oni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa Pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
You see it? Fusion Promo Marketing can make it. Fusion makes high-quality, memorable promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. From vision to reality, get noticed and remembered. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Everything is going to be okay. Any business, regardless of size, can stumble occasionally. I'm Dan McDicken, a licensed insolvency trustee with Faber. If your business is facing financial challenges, our team of chartered insolvency and restructuring professionals have corporate debt recovery solutions that work. Schedule your free Faber focus session at faber.ca today. Chances of a positive outcome increase if you engage Faber sooner rather than later.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Celebrate Canada the most Canadian way possible. Talking hockey. Join Low Tide and Guests here on Sports 1440 Canada Day from 10 till 1 for local free agency coverage. Who made their team better? Who got fleeced? How does it affect the local squad? Powered by Booster Juice. Maple syrup not included.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Emerald Equipment. Emerald Equipment is Edmonton's newest dealer for Yanmar compact equipment. Machines built tough for the jobs that don't quit. Get your new Yanmar compact track loaders with ASV Posi Track at Emerald Equipment.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.245. How you doing? Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Declan Kruger, of course, running things over at YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Give him a thumbs up. Say hello. Talk a little CFL with them for tonight. What's the expectations of the green and gold? He's been down to camp lots. He's our resident football guy. So check it out. Oh, also, you can ask him about the Heat and their upcoming 6th place finish with Giannis as well. So that'll be good. We continue on. Thursday afternoon, if you missed it, another trade in the National Hockey League as Valerie Nichushkin has been traded from Colorado for a 2nd, a 3rd, and a 4th going to Columbus. And we'll see where it goes from there. But I'm not sure if I like Colorado frees up money. I guess that's a benefit to them. Those picks, maybe use it like it's 1 second this year. It's a 3rd and 4th. Now, if you hit on one of the picks, it's great. Columbus gets an NHL player. He's going to have a bounce back season, no question, and see if he can return to have better production 5-on-5. Because Colorado was a wagon and he couldn't do much. So that would be maybe my only concern there. Now, let's get to Thirsty Thursday, brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor. 2 locations, Southside, 50th Street, and, of course, the original location on 118th and St. Albert Trail. The best selection of beer, wine, cocktails in the city. And for all of you who are like, you know what? It's a dry summer. They got tons of non-alcoholic beverages for you. And, man, I'm telling you, they're pretty damn tasty. I picked up some at the house because I know a lot of people don't drink now. So some people like to have it. They just don't want the alcohol. Great. They got a lot of good flavors there, from cocktails, beers, even wine. I'll admit I've never tried the non-alcoholic wine, so I can't say anything good or bad about that. As we welcome in Stephen Bazan once again from Sherbrooke Liquor. Steve, my man, how you doing?
I'm really, really good today, Jason. How you doing?
I'm excellent.
Yeah.
I'm excellent. So today we're kind of continuing on our beers for the World Cup, essentially.
A little bit. The past few weeks we've been exploring different international beers, picking some beers from countries that are playing in the World Cup. We sort of went through a lot of what's available in Alberta right now, but it's been inspiring actually, because going to the international beers, I've sort of had to go back into the vault at Sherbrooke a little bit and kind of reassess and re-examine some of those classic beers that have been in our fridge for a long time. And one example too, like we're still feeling the shockwaves of that Track Warehouse ale that we tasted a couple weeks ago, man. People are still coming in. They're still asking for it. It's wild because it's a beer that we've had, on the shelf for 15 years or more. And so everyone knew it was a great beer, man. I tasted it maybe 10 years ago and just thought it was amazing, but it's one of those hidden gems that just sort of sits in the cooler. And just to see that reaction from people after we tasted it on air it was amazing. So it inspired me to kind of go through and pick out some other sort of hidden gems that I think are in our cooler. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So
are we starting on the left?
We'll start with the red one there on your right.
The Silly Creek.
The Silly Creek. Yeah. Okay. So a Creek, that's a style of Belgian beer is usually cherry infused. Now, one caveat.
It smells unreal.
It smells so refreshing, man. It's unreal. And a little caveat too, because the Creek styles are very, very different depending on which brewery. A lot of them are in a lambic style, which is they're super funky, super, super acidic. They have notes of horse blanket and just like wild flavors.
What is horse blanket?
Horse blanket. So it's a common,
like I'm thinking of riding a horse at my farm.
I don't know how it got so specific, but it's like a common flavor descriptor when you taste a lambic or a wild ale, and it comes from the wild yeast. So it's like not horse, not barn. It's specifically the horse blanket. I don't know.
Oh my God.
It's not for everybody.
Unreal.
It's not for everybody. Oh. This beer is not that style.
Okay.
Beer. So it is infused with cherries, but the base beer of it is, I don't know if you remember a little while ago, it was another Silly beer from Belgium. That's the name of the brewery. It was the Silly Blanche, which is like Belgian wit. Amazing beer. One of my favorites for that style. That's the base beer to this one. So they start out with that beer and then just add real cherry juice to it.
So I was just going to say, what's unique about this beer is it doesn't taste like a lot of, if you just like the taste of a lager or an ale, this isn't it, right?
No,
this has
it's
a unique, it's not tart. It's almost got a little bit of a dry taste to it.
A little on the finish there. Like to me, it's like,
but bubbly at the same time.
Super effervescent, and really good. Juicy. Like it's almost like not quite Kool-Aid levels, but it's got like that like super juicy, a little sweet on the front, but then it finishes nice and dry, so it stays really refreshing.
Like it's funny. Like the one thing I've learned over doing this with you is like what I thought beers were capable of is totally changed. And it's totally changed now. This is something where, because some people don't like the taste of beer, right? And so you might like a cooler or something. This is like a beer, but the cherry taste of it gives a little bit of a cooler flavor. I would think this would be a summer outside. I'd want to have that with a glass full of ice and just sit outside in the heat and sip on this.
Totally. And a beer like this, you can put over ice too. There's no rules. And beer is just so diverse too. I always take that as a challenge when someone's like, I don't like beer. And like, I can find something. I can find something you like.
Yeah.
So that one's
I like that though. Like that it's very different flavor. If you're an old fashioned beer guy, you're probably not going to like it. But if you like something different, I really like, it's very fresh in your mouth.
Very fresh. And the smell is it just reminds me of summer. It's just, it makes me want to go out on a patio and just soak up the sunshine. It's very tasty.
Yeah, it's good.
I love that one. So now the next one. So we're going to this is actually a brewery out of Montreal called Will's Brewing.
Okay.
And people are sleeping on these guys. Like it is, so they started in 2023 out of Montreal, which is a hotbed for Canadian craft brewers. Already getting international recognition. You can find their beers in bottle shops in Copenhagen and in Belgium, and it's just, and they do this style of IPA. You can see.
Oh, it is very.
If anyone is watching,
you're not seeing through this one, man. It's a very hazy beer.
Opaque. That it looks like orange juice or something. Yeah. So this is a big
Third Moon. Kind of looks like a mango juice that you would get at one of those high end restaurants.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a collab between Will's Brewing and Third Moon Brewing, and they actually, the two breweries met in Belgium at a Belgian beer festival and just started chatting and wanted to collaborate on a beer. And this is what Will's brewery specializes in is this type of IPA. There's six different types of hops in it. There's Citra, Motueka, Peacherine. It's all. Most breweries are really good now at listing the hop varieties on the can, or you could easily find it if you do a Google search or something. And you could think of it almost, if you're a wine person, a Cab Sauv tastes different than a Pinot Noir, that sort of thing. If you start to know your hops a little bit, you can start to pick up on the different qualities and flavor profile. And
10% beer.
It hides it.
Wow.
Super well. It's got that rich mouthfeel to it. The aromas are crazy.
Looking at it, I was expecting it to be a very fruity tasting, and it's not. It is legit. Like, it shocked me that it's got no fruit taste to it.
No. When you smell it, do you smell like fruity notes to it?
A little bit, yes.
A little bit like
totally.
tropical.
Yeah, that's
fruit.
what when I took a sip, I was expecting to be fruit tasting, and it's not at all. It tastes like a very much a traditional IPA. It's just very like that. You cannot see through the glass at all. So if you like the hazy IPAs, you're gonna love it.
That's why I love those, because you smell that, like it smells like Five Alive juice or something to me. But there's never any fruit added. It's just all the natural.
If you ever want to trick one of your buddies, hey, I just have some new juice here. Take a big slug of it for what?
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So moving on. So this is another collaboration beer. It's from Godspeed Brewing, who are out of Toronto, and it's a collaboration with Dieu de Ciel, who are out of Montreal, and another brewery called
Dieu de Ciel.
Yeah, it's like oh Lord, I think is what it translates into English. But Dieu de Ciel they're widely regarded as like the most respected, the most highly touted Canadian craft brewer internationally. They're absolute legends. And so the guy who started Godspeed Brewing was actually the head brewer at Dieu de Ciel for about 12 years, then moved to Japan, did a little bit of brewing there, learned some of their techniques, came back and started this brewery in Toronto. So it's sort of a Toronto-Montreal collaboration that you wouldn't really expect. Now, this is kind of selfish of me to bring this one on. It's one of my absolute favorite styles. It's a barley wine. So have you ever tasted a barley wine before, Jason?
No.
Or do you remember us bringing one on?
I don't think so.
Yeah. So it's tradition. It's a UK style beer. It's been around for hundreds of years, and they called it a barley wine, not because it has anything to do with wine whatsoever. It's just the alcohol percentage gets up a little closer to those wine levels, but it's just a malt forward beer. Normally you don't get that smoky character. Like you might get that smoky smell and taste off of this one.
I think this is for more of an advanced beer palate. For me, I'm not advanced enough.
That's fair.
I don't think, honestly, I don't think I try it. I'm okay. Somebody like you who's, has done it, like you really specialize in it. I don't know if I have the refined taste buds to appreciate it.
Yeah. And for me, it's all personal preference. I mean, I love peaty Scotch. I love really smoky things. And this is, it's something
you say Scotch, because it's got a little bit of a, almost like a Scotch whiskey flavor
absolutely.
to it.
And they use this beechwood smoked malt. So it's something that you would sit with and, sip slowly, contemplatively. It's not something you down super quickly, like a bunch of other beers. So if you sit with it and just enjoy those aromas and just soak it all in, you might get a little more appreciation for it. But it's a big beer. It's a challenging one for sure. But if you like that sort of thing, if you want to push yourselves, that's a perfect one.
Yeah, some of you who feel that you've got the refined palate.
Yeah, give it a go. So that's Godspeed, the beer.
God in heaven, Dieu de Ciel.
That's what. Okay,
gotcha.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
J'ai gradué école française, j'ai expliqué. So there we go. Nice.
So moving on. This is from a brewery called Evil Twin. So Evil Twin was started by he was a school teacher in Denmark. His name is Jeppe Jarnet Bjerso, and I've practiced that name a lot. So he started this brewery. It was him and his twin brother, Mikkel Borg Bjerso.
Okay, wait, what? One's Mikkel and the other one's Jeppe?
Jeppe.
Like, that's a real different of twins' names.
Well,
right
and that's
there.
that could be part of the story too, because as legend goes, that they don't really get along that well.
Okay.
So they started off, they did their own individual thing. They actually would travel around Europe and collaborate with different breweries. They never had a brewery of their own.
Okay.
So they sort of traveled around, had their own recipes, collaborated with these breweries, but they don't really, there's like I said, they don't get along. It's hard to tell if that's just fabricated or what.
Yeah,
but
sure.
But so Jeppe started this Evil Twin Brewing because he's sort of the bad guy or whatever.
Okay,
So,
Evil
but
Twin
he's
Brew. I like it.
yeah, he set up shop in the Bronx actually, and he has another location in Queens. And he does these the beer's called 1485 or batch number 1485. So that's
kind of chocolatey smell.
Super chocolatey. This is 13%.
Woo.
It's what they call an old ale again, which is a certain style. It's a British style. They call it an old ale. It's stronger. It's malt forward. They used to age it a little bit longer.
You can definitely taste the malt.
Yeah, but then he loads it. Yeppy loads it with maple and vanilla, so you get just like, ooh, man, that's a
Like,
dessert beer.
You left. I owe you. I'm like, wait a sec. We have another Tricroir beer.
Another Tricroir beer.
So this one is the Jacobite Ale.
Yeah, of course, named after the.
Because I went in. I got the Tricroir because I had a few friends over, and the thing about the Tricroir was because I gave it to my buddy and he took a sip of it and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's good." I'm like, "No." So because at times I find you need a baseline.
Absolutely.
And so I can't remember what beer he was drinking, but he likes like Coors or something. Good, decent beer. So I said, okay, take a sip of it.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, now let's try it again.
Mm-hmm.
And when he took it again, he's like, okay, now I see the difference. Yeah. And he's just like, dude, like it's almost like it brings out the flavors. And I made sure he took some water in between. And, but some people, honestly, like I was saying it earlier, the Giudice, I was like, I don't think I have enough of a palate yet to appreciate that really good of a beer. The Tricroir one, because I had lots of guys text in, they went and tried, and lots of people have texted in, Gregor, you're right. Like, this is such a smooth beer. So now I'm curious to see how the Jacobite Ale from Tricroir is, if it's the same.
So named after the famous
got high standards.
Jacobite Revolution of 1745. We won't get into all the history of it, but it's a similar style to the house ale. The one thing they did different, so they brewed this first in 1995 to commemorate the 250th anniversary of the Jacobite Revolution. Bonnie, Prince Charles.
It's close.
It's close. They add a little secret ingredient to it though, and that secret ingredient is a little bit of coriander. So they add, a little bit of spice. So you don't see coriander. You see it a lot in Belgian wits and kind of lighter style beers, but not as often in a dark beer. And what it imparts, it just sort of it lightens everything up, and it just adds this sort of freshness to it that you may not get from the house ale, which is more oaky and rich. Like I find this one just has just a subtle hint of spice to it, a little bit of like citrus rind underneath it all there, but it lifts everything up, and it's a dark, rich beer, but it gives it that little spark, so that coriander really adds to it. And so this one, as you know,
it's very close.
Yeah.
Now I fell in love with the Tricroir, so it's I can't say that it's better, but it is very similar.
Very similar, yeah. And as they just brew two beers. That's all they do. They aren't looking to.
So they only have two beers. That's the only other one.
Yeah. They're not looking to innovate or anything. They just want to do one thing and do it perfectly. And again, the Gregor bump is real, man. We cleared out the Alberta warehouse. People were coming in 30 seconds after the show there a couple weeks ago and just stocking up on the track warehouse. So we're trying to source out more, trying to get some more back on Sherbrooke shelves, but it went quick. But we cleared out this one too. We got the last 4 cases in the Alberta warehouse.
There you go.
So if you want to try it, if you missed out on the
try
house
the
ale.
Tricroir, but if you're looking for what's the name? This one's called the Third Moon Brewery one.
Yeah,
the
so
IPA.
It's Will's Brewing collaborating with Third Moon Brewing. The beer is called Third Phase.
Okay,
triple IPA, super good. 10%. It's dangerous, but it is absolutely delicious. You get those mango and guava.
If you like an IPA,
bitter.
man, big thumbs up.
No one does. I mean, like I said, people are passing over this Will's Brewing, but they do some of the best IPAs out there. So you got to get it.
If you're an IPAer, Will's Brewing, check it out. Now this one says Third Moon Brewing Company. Will's is what it is, and so this beer is what, Third Phase?
Third Phase, yeah. Third Moon is featured prominently. That's just the brewery out of Milton, Ontario. They collaborated with. All of Will's beers look pretty much exactly the same to that, just a different color for the logo. But it's that silver can with the stark black label, big Will's logo on there. You can't miss it. We have them all lined up in the cooler, and again, a true hidden gem. If you like IPAs, and if you haven't had a Will's beer, then you gotta get it on it.
Yes, try it out. I highly recommend it. Try it out. Awesome stuff, Stevie, my man.
Cool.
We appreciate it. Have yourself a great day. And next week we'll be talking July. Free agency. Hey, you might have to talk about some trades. Maybe we'll trade off.
We'll do a little. I think
things.
David will be back next week, so we'll think of some trade deals.
All right, I like it.
Yeah.
Let's get to the Con Man and Sports 1440 update brought to you by GoAuto.ca. Hey, if you're looking for a trade-in, trust me. They got new, they got used. They have over 15,000 vehicles to choose from at 73 different locations. Go to auto.ca. Find a location near you. You will find the color and the brand you want. GoAuto.ca.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Week 4 in the CFL kicks off tonight in Winnipeg as the Bombers hosting the Edmonton Elks. That one's set to get going at 6:30 in the NHL. The Columbus Blue Jackets acquiring Valerie Nikushin from the Avs for a 2026 second, a 2027 third, and a 2028 fifth round pick. While the Florida Panthers acquiring Garnett Hathaway and a 6th round pick from the Flyers in exchange for 4th and 5th round draft picks. The Flyers will also retain 50% of Hathaway's $2.4 million salary. The Penguins acquiring Hendrix Lafayette from the Capitals for a 2027 third and a 2028 fifth round pick. At the World Cup today, Germany, Ecuador tied at 1 apiece, while the Ivory Coast up on a Curaçao 1-0 at halftime. Later today, Japan taking on Sweden, Netherlands, and Tunisia. Paraguay gets Australia, and Turkey beats the United States from SoFi Stadium. Major League Baseball, Jays, Rangers from Toronto. First pitch, 5:07. We'll join that game in progress immediately following the Jason Gregor Show on our AMP. You've also got the Athletics leading the Giants 2-1 in the 5th. Later tonight, Yankees, Red Sox, Cards, Diamondbacks, and the Cubbies meet the Mets. Earlier today, the Mariners fell to the Pirates 5-1, and the Rays got by the Royals 13-2. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by our co-host, former NHLer Terry Ryan, and we'll look around the NHL with Tab Bamford from the 4th period. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. This deal is only good till 6 o'clock tonight. We need your credit card to hold the color. Hold the color. Summer package. Winter package. And the ever-famous re-PDI fee. I gotta pay you to rebuild the car? Does this sound familiar? At Northgate, we do things differently. We offer 0% financing, a great selection of new, pre-owned vehicles. So if you'd like to do business a different way, stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country. And now Action Electrical's testing team is on defense duty. They're the guardians of safety and compliance, a critical part of any line.
All right, I like it.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and code compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as the referees, ensuring everything is up to standard before disaster strikes.
Their preventative plays are legendary, spotting faults early. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Rangeroni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa Pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
Are you a skilled laborer? All Star Construction wants to talk to you. A heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All-Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All-Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience searching for work, search All-Star Construction on Indeed.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh.
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's personal. Let's discuss all the cutting-edge options available so you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
To the person who muted the work chat before their boss sent out the "have a great long weekend" message, hi, your Safeway PA announcer here. Your secret's safe with us. Let's kick the weekend into high gear with fresh quality burgers, kebabs, sausages, and steaks. Everything your tongs have been waiting for all week. So leave the conversation on red and enjoy every single day off at the grill. For quality meat, visit a Safeway near you.
School's almost out, and road trip season is just around the corner. If your brakes sound like they're grinding harder than a hockey fourth liner, it might be time to visit Napa Auto Parts. Napa has all the quality parts, tools, and know-how to help keep your vehicle running smoothly and road ready. With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
A claims program for harmed Canadians has begun as a result of a landmark tobacco settlement. If you smoked regularly before November 20th, 1998, and were diagnosed with lung cancer, throat cancer, emphysema, or COPD, you may qualify for a significant payment. To learn more, call 888-482-5852 or go to tobaccoclaimscanada.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. We treat pain and injuries head to toe and some other issues that might surprise you, like incontinence, vertigo, neuropathy, and cognitive issues. We invest in the technology, techniques, skills, and people that know how and what to fix. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
For 3 o'clock, welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Howling, Declan Kruger on a lovely Thursday afternoon. Man, is it beautiful? Are you wearing muscle shirt, shorts, sandals, something? Got to be cool right now. I know some of you wear shorts year round. Diehards. Like, I never had the leg girth to go to shorts in the summertime. Couldn't do it. So we'll see. See kind of how it goes. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We got a lot of texts coming in, 833-401-1440. It's a Gregor Show, always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. You know what day it is. It's Thursday. You know what that means? My favorite game, I just want to win to get $1,000 a day for 20 years. The Daily Grant. Like, it would be so awesome. I know some of you say, Gregor, you get the lump sum, you get $7.3 million. Yeah, I understand it. But I'm not taking the lump sum. I've read too many books on people screwing themselves over when they win the lottery. They blow all the money. Now, I'm pretty good with money, but still, I've never had a lump sum of $20 million. I get a little crazy. So I get $1,000 a day. Every day, man, I'm waking up, I'm feeling good. It relieves the stress. You can still function. Maybe, you want to challenge yourself, do whatever, but you're like, you know what? I got that $1,000 here. Car breaks down, no big deal. Furnace conks out, no big deal. Getting $1,000 a day, man. I'm putting some of it in a fund, and I probably have like a spend fund, saving fund, right? Simple. Could always buy a few things. But at that point, you could save. That'd be the great part. You could just sit and wait. Hey, I want something new. Hey, maybe I want a cabin. Well, I can wait. Put down a big lump sum payment. Boom. Less interest. Because interest sucks. Let's be honest. So the daily grind, that is my challenge, man. Like, of course, I'd like to win the Lotto Max and the other ones, but the daily grind just keeps me contained. I like it. Let's get to Terry Ryan now as we get to TR, brought to you by Action Electrical. 53 years in business, the most diversified electrical contractor in the province. Project service testing and solar for both residential and commercial, where you can get up to 30% tax credit and accelerated capital cost allowance benefits. Your business owner, what are you waiting for? ActionElectrical.net as Terry Ryan joins us. TR, what's happening?
Not much. Just got back to Newfoundland from a quick little trip to Toronto. It was a good time.
Awesome. This has been one of the most exciting trade weeks in the arguably maybe in NHL history when you consider all the deals that have gone down recently. Just, here we are. It's the 25th, and since the 21st, I guess maybe let's go back a week. So in the last week, Darren Radish's rights traded to Toronto. They signed him for a big deal. Samaskowicz traded to the Panthers, or from the Panthers to the Kraken. Then the Panthers acquire Brady Tkachuk from the Senators. The Calgary Flames get in on the action. Simon Nemec, Maxim Siplikov for draft picks, first-round draft picks. Then you have the Sharks trading Eklund to Ottawa with some other prospects for the 9th overall pick. The Washington Capitals acquire Jordan Kyrou for Connor McMichael, Milton Gastrin, and a first-rounder, 16th overall, tomorrow. The Chicago Blackhawks land Bowen Byram and Jordan Greenway for Louis Crevier, the number 4 overall pick, and a second-rounder. The Predators acquired Jack Drury for Zachary Leroux. Some other guys were involved in that deal. Then the Capitals acquire the rights to Alex. Well, it's a sign and trade, 8-year deal, 10.5 sheets for Alex Tuck. Garnet Hathaway was traded earlier, but the Panthers acquire him from Philly. Henrix Lapierre goes from Washington to the Penguins. And just coming down about a half an hour ago, Valerie Nichushkin is now off to Columbus, man. This expanded cap space is a big reason. I also think teams are a little bit more willing to try to tinker with their lineups.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be as much out there on the free market, so I guess you got to make a move, right? A lot went down. It's hard to isolate anything, but just between you and I'm kind of surprised of all of it that the Bowen Byron deal is getting criticized so much from the Blackhawks point of view.
Yeah,
I'm mystified. I just think I don't know what you think you're getting at 4th overall. That's so much better than him.
Thank you.
I mean, he was playing behind. Like he was never going to be the number 1 defenseman in Buffalo. He's good. Look at his stats. He's only getting better. He's 25, not 35. I just think you got to go out and do something. I didn't think it was as crazy as people are mocking it for, but maybe I'm right. Is there something I'm missing there?
Dude, I'm with you. Now, Louis Crevier is a pretty good player. So I can see why they and you're going to have to pay Bowen Byram money. But to get a defense, like I look at Bowen Byram, and he was 21st in the NHL in even strength scoring last year when he didn't play with the top line guys as much as Rasmus Dahlin. And I understand why Buffalo did that. You're going to go to Chicago. You're going to be their main top pair defenseman. He might not be a number 1 D-man. There's not many number 1s in the NHL, but he's for sure a top pair defenseman. And I think he's probably we'll see at the end of the year. I think there's a very good chance people would look at him and say, you know what, this guy's like a lower end number 1 defenseman. Nothing wrong with that. Well, Chicago needed that. They've got some good players up front, but you need guys who can move the puck to them to really maximize their skill set.
Yeah, I thought from Chicago, and it's supply and demand is going to take care of itself. People say, "Oh, Tuck's not worth that." Well, he is because he just got it. And that's exactly what supply and demand is. That is exactly what he's worth. And for the Blackhawks, I just thought it was a good fit. Now for Buffalo as well, like, some deals, both teams can walk away smiling. I just thought, and in Chicago's case, I know they're probably not as long away as they were 2 years ago from winning the Cup, but they're ways from it. But, at some point you got to make some kind of move. And I just thought for right now, a young defenseman that, of course he's going to demand a little bit higher of the salary, but at some point you have to insulate your team with players that are experienced. And, for a guy and the teams he's played on, there's some players like Rick Nash never made the playoffs till he was 31. Look at the experience that a guy like Byram got coming into a bunch of guys that want to get there. I just thought it worked. I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but I thought that one worked. And yeah, man, the Caps are going to be, if you really think about who they already have, the Washington Capitals are making moves, but they're pretty big, strong.
Oh, yes, they're big for sure.
When you look now at what's playing out there, and they're not so far out of it that they're long. Like there's rebuilding. The whole Ovi thing, I think, because his game changed. He got over. He's still scoring. He's not as he's not defensive anymore. No one even really knows if he's playing. He's certainly not playing too much longer. The writing's on the wall. So I think that because of all that, in your head, you're like, you think it speaks for the whole team, but it doesn't. They're still pretty good. And now they're loading up, and they got, a big, strong team, which always
helps down the stretch. So I think they're going to be more dangerous than people think. Yeah. It's, I'm very intrigued. I just realized David Kampf was involved in that trade in the Capitals. Wow. I did not know that. Okay. I just saw that. Con, did you know that? I didn't know David Kampf was involved in that trade. God, what the hell am I sleeping? Anyway, TR, what did you make of so there's the press conference with Mike Babcock. Then you've got, McDavid and their veterans coming out and doing like a media tour saying, hey, this is why we like the hire. You don't see that very often. Like there's clearly the past can't be overlooked from a actions perspective as far as the coach and how he treated some of the players. Connor's like, hey, we want a guy to be hard on us. So here's my question, because we have a lot of people saying, well, why do they need a coach to make you commit to defense? Why wouldn't you want to commit to defense anyway? Or are they really overreacting? Like they went to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. They went to Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final. Like they've been a pretty good team. Yeah, I know. There's so much to unpack. And a lot of it, from my perspective, already has with the opinions. Like I said before, like in my experience with Babcock, he shook my hand. I was in Tri-Cities. He was coach and spoke. He didn't really have to. He seemed like an okay guy. Congratulated me for making the move out west. And then he turned my buddy Danny Cleary's career around. Now, that's my personal experience. But I do believe the other things that were said by reputable people and friends like Mike Commodore. So I found it odd. But now that the fact that they've done it, and if McDavid and these guys are on board, then it's done. So that conversation for me, as far as my opinions and everything, is in the past. Now you've got, what are we going to do going forward? Going forward, I guess last time we spoke was last week. So press conference, what did I think? Oh, man. I was really surprised. I really, really, really was surprised. I thought there would be, it would be full of apology and, new starts and bygones be bygones. Maybe, I find the Lord somewhere along the way. I'm really sorry. But it didn't happen. And then I thought about it, and I'm like, you know what? They got him to be, if you want to use the word hard ass, whatever you want to use, there's a reason. And whether we all agree or whatever our opinions, and that's why they did it. Now, he didn't exactly sit there and totally embarrass himself either. He wasn't a total ogre that was being a jerk, but the way he was just so matter of fact and unwilling to accept facts even that seemed to be facts from Columbus's point of view. But again, the Oilers got him for a reason. Hockey hasn't started yet. When hockey starts, let's see. We can criticize these press conferences, and I thought it was a doozy of one. But was I upset with it? I was surprised. Found it
more humorous than anything. But you know that, who knows? I would think Connor McDavid knows what his team needs more than me. And if they're all on board for it and behind closed doors, you know that they've spoken at length with Mike Babcock, and whatever he said to them has impressed them. So, I mean, he's going to be like that. We know. We just hopefully he doesn't go too far over the line here for the people involved. I mean, that's really all it's all I can say about it. But he's going to be hard on them. That's why they got him. So it's probably not the first time or the last time that or it's not the last time that we're going to be talking about this. How hard is he going to be? Who knows? Maybe he turned over a new leaf of sorts, that he won't be, as, I guess, what would you say, using mind manipulation, some of those stories, but who am I to say? I thought they were all over the top, but if that's the Oilers, if that's what the Oilers want, that's what the Oilers got.
Yeah, we're going to see how it goes. We'll take a quick break. Jason Gregor, Terry Ryan, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. We'll go to Chicago. Tad Bamford will join us next on the Gregor Show here, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Shoulder pain. It can make even the simplest things like reaching up, lifting a bag, brushing your teeth, or sleeping frustrating. Rotator cuff strains, impingement, arthritis, they're some of the most common issues we treat every day. I'm Grant Fedoruk, and at Leading Edge Physio, our team brings postgraduate training, evidence-based technology, and just the right amount of humor and humility to help you feel better. Because we never forget the most important part, the gratitude we feel for every patient who allows us the opportunity to care for them. Because life shouldn't hurt. When it does, leadingedgephysio.com.
Performance by Action Electrical today. Their projects team kicks things off, designing and building with unmatched skill.
Then the service team swoops in for those crucial repairs and maintenance. And don't forget the testing team, ensuring everything's safe and sound before the solar team scores with sustainable energy.
A complete team effort. Have Action Electrical bring home a win for you and your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Looking for a truck that can handle anything Alberta throws your way? Wolf GMC Buick has the offers to get you behind the wheel. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on select new 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 models. Plus, trade in an eligible 2015 or newer pickup and receive a $1,000 truck trade-in bonus on select Sierra models. Ask about bonus offers for heroes, students, recent graduates, and more. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique family-owned independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Don't let equipment failure stop you cold. At AWS Welding in Nisku, our factory-trained service techs are on hand for all welding equipment repairs. We're a fully warranted center for Miller, Lincoln, and ESAB. And we service all makes and models. Proper, regular service extends the life of your gear and keeps it running at peak capacity. Don't wait for a breakdown. Book your service appointment today at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact, because our team is built on second chances, and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
rolling through Thursday afternoon. I just ran it down. Welcome back. It is the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. And I just went through the list. So if you go back in the last week in the NHL, and here's the list of the players who've been traded. Darren Radish, Alex Tuck, Jordan Kyrou, Bowen Byram, Brady Tkachuk, Simone Nemec, William Eklund, Valerie Nichushkin, Mackie Samaskowicz, Louis Crevier, Connor McMichael, Hendrix Lapierre, Jack Drury, Garnet Hathaway, Maxim Siplikov, Zachary Leroux, David Camp, Jordan Greenway, Fedor Svechkov, and 8 first-round picks. And the number 9 pick's been traded a few times. The number 4 pick's been traded. The number 25 pick's been traded. Then future first-rounders, 16's been traded. Like, this has been a wild 7 days in the NHL. So who knows what's coming tomorrow, baby? This is awesome. I honestly, now, off-season, it's a lot easier for players. I understand during the season when you trade a guy, you know what, you got a family, to disrupt them. That's hard. I totally get that. In the off-season, it's still difficult. No question. But that's what you sign up for. That's part of it. That's how you go. Talk to anybody. Hey, I worked in the oil field, man. You're working long hours. You're away from your family. There's lots of jobs have different challenges. So do I have empathy? Sure, yes. But I don't be like, oh my God, we should never talk about trades. It's terrible. No, that's part of the business, right? It's part of the business. And this has been a week like anything that I can remember in recent memory. Now, the flat cap for years was a big factor. But even before that, I just think the salary cap's gone up a lot. I think teams are feeling like, you know what? Let's make some moves here. Let's not be scared. Let's see what happens. And it's been exciting. And I don't think it's done, because you got the draft, then you got leading up to free agency. There's still lots of names that have been bantied about. So we could see so many more. So it is being a lot of fun. Now, one of those teams who made some moves was the Chicago Blackhawks. And they acquire Bowen Byram for the 4th overall pick in the draft tomorrow night, as well as Louis Crevier and another draft pick, a second rounder. And a lot of people were like, oh my God, it's a terrible trade. I'm not sure I believe that it was a terrible trade yet. So we'll get to it as we go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's. And all summer long, the dollar drink summer at McDonald's. Small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for only $1. And hey, you can get $1 cones through the McDonald's app right now at McDonald's, as we are joined by Tad Bamford, fourth period columnist, as Blackhawks reporter. Tad, welcome back to the show, my man. How you doing, Tad?
Great chatting with you. Just trying to figure out what the heck's going on right now. This is literally like with the way that the trade deadlines kind of fizzled the last few years. This has got a lot more sex appeal than the deadline has.
Oh, for sure. And lots of younger players. Give me your I saw the reaction. People were like, "Oh my God, Chicago, this is the worst trade ever." And I'm like, "Well, why?" Well, because the 4th pick. I think some people look at the 4th pick and just assume it's going to be Cale Makar. And I'm like, yeah, but there's Jesse Puljujarvi and there's lots of other guys here. Like, it's no guarantee. Chicago desperately needed to get older on their blue line. And not that Bowen Byram's old. He's only 25. But he's got a lot of experience. He's won a cup. He's been in the playoffs. And they needed a puck-moving defenseman. Like, I wonder, Tab, how much of this trade was to show Connor Bedard, like, hey, we're going to help you out. We're going to get some guys with more skill to be on the ice with you.
I mean, that's the crazy thing in Chicago. And when you look at kind of the Blackhawks ecosystem on social media, all of the fans have been screaming for 2 years, stop clinging to your precious draft capital and go get somebody who's young, who fits the window that you're projecting, who has enough experience that it matters, and you have a good idea of what they are. They're a known commodity, but they're not a finished product. And then Kyle Davidson does it, and it's like, no, but not that guy. And usually it's the same people that screamed at the clouds that they didn't draft Bowen Byram, and they took Kirby Dach in that draft at 3rd overall. So it's absolutely wild on social media these days. I don't think Chicago's unique to that in any regard, but we have some really loud voices in this town. So, look, Bowen Byram's a really good defenseman. I think a lot of people sell him out because they just don't watch Buffalo Sabres hockey. The dude averaged 22 minutes a night on a team that won its division, that got out of a seemingly 40-year playoff drought. And if you're looking for, as like the Chicago Blackhawks perspective, you want somebody who understands how to, like, you know, pull that chin strap tight and get it done. You know, what Bowen said to us on the phone yesterday when he chatted with the Chicago media for the first time, we were in dead last at Christmas, and then we just decided to pull in the same direction, and we went and won the division. So that mindset, that experience, what you mentioned in Colorado, there's a lot to really, really like about this guy. Giving up a top 5 pick, it hasn't happened since 2008. There's going to be that will be settled to Bowen Byram until he either retires a Blackhawk or he leaves town under other circumstances. But you have to pay to get, and the kid's 25 years old, and those types of players don't become available very often. And if San Jose was reportedly offering 9 and 27, and the Rangers were potentially offering 5, 4 is the cost of doing business in this NHL. Look at what Simon Nemec got from Calgary. So these are crazy times if you're a seller, because you really don't have to flip the script much. You can go collect some really good assets pretty quick if you're comfortable with your internal asset evaluation.
Tab, I'm assuming Chicago isn't done here now. What other angles do you think they're looking at? Is there anybody in free agency they think they target, or maybe even another trade?
You know, it's interesting because with Jordan Greenway coming in, the Hawks have, depending on who you feel like is NHL ready, between like 13 and 25 forwards right now. And so I feel like they might need to actually move some guys out to make room for some younger guys. Last year we saw Oliver Moore, who the organization is incredibly high on. He really impressed at the World Championships. You know, Brady Tkachuk and Matthew Tkachuk were raving about him on their podcast a couple weeks ago. He's got elite wheels. He was injured at the end of the season. He's only been a pro for a year. You know, Frank Nazar was a first full year pro last year and got dinged up a little bit, but you know, you've got some young guys that you're trying to establish, and then you're injecting Anton Frundell, a top 5 pick in his own right, who showed really well, and he's got more of a, you know, physical, mature build than a Bedard or a Nazar. And then they're adding this kid from Russia, Roman Kantsarov, who put up numbers that have been compared to what Kirill Kaprizov was doing at the same age over there, and he projects as a top 6 winger. So I don't think they're necessarily done, but I think the rock and the hard place for Kyle Davidson and his group right now is, I think the forward group is really still evolving and emerging, where I think they got to a point last year, seeing how the timeline was progressing with Artem Levshinov and Sam Renzel, that they got to a point where it's like, these guys are not Matthew Schaefer. These guys are not walking off of a college campus and changing the world like Cale Makar did, or everyone's favorite Hudson did. These guys are like your traditional defenseman that takes some time. So we're going to go get a guy who is still only 25 years old, but he has, you know, 300 games of experience and fits that runway still. So I think that adding an experienced defenseman was critical, but I do think the Hawks are going to look to add some scoring at some point somehow, other than just Kantsarov coming over from Russia and a full year of Anton Frundell.
Yeah, go ahead, TR.
I was going to ask, the Caps made some moves for right-handed forwards. There's only so much ice to go around. Do you think we'll see Ovi?
That, you know, my first thought when they made the Kyrou deal was, that's a really nice forward group. When they went to 8 by 10.5 on Alex Tuck, my first thought was they probably know Ovi's not coming back. Because that, like you said, that's a really pretty loaded forward group. And when you start looking at how the guys might complement each other, I feel like Tuck just became your de facto Ovechkin replacement. So good. I mean, good for Washington. They did a really good job with the Carlson trade to add enough draft capital that they could pounce on a Kyrou deal, and then they were willing to put the money on Tuck. So I think they've done a really nice job so far. But with the pieces that they've added, it kind of feels like Ovi might have played his last game in Washington, which might mean his last game in the National Hockey League.
Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, I don't know. He scored 32 goals last year. I could see him coming back for one more. And he looks around and goes, man, we just got a lot better. We got Tuck, we got Kyra. There's even less pressure on me to have to be the main guy. It can be fun, and maybe I can get into the playoffs once again. Connor Bedard contract. I'm sure, Tab, I'm sure you get asked about it every day. But what's your expectations on term and AAV?
I think that's kind of the question isn't whether or not it's going to get done. The question is Bedard going to go to max term? He's given every indication that he wants to be in Chicago forever. The front office obviously wants him to be around forever. At the end of the season, Kyle Davidson said that, and look, this guy is an A-plus accountant. He counts his pennies incredibly well. He did it for the first few years, just trying to figure out how to get to the floor while he was burning this thing down. Now he's, you've got this stockpile of young players that you're going to have to pay them all at some point, right? So I think if he can go to max term with Bedard, even if it's at a higher AAV, that cost certainty will go a long way in future determinations. So if I was a gambling man, I would say he probably goes to the 8 years. And I think you're probably looking at him as the face of an original six franchise. I think you're going to be surprised, and it's going to be in that $15 to $16 million a year range, which,
wow.
As we look at this burgeoning media-driven rivalry between San Jose and Chicago, good luck with Macklin Celebrini if that's what Bedard gets, because San Jose is going to want to give him more. And if Bedard goes to 8, it's going to be real hard for San Jose to not go in a similar direction there. So, it puts them in a little bit of a tough spot, because I think those two young guys are kind of like Ovechkin and Crosby have been for 2 decades, kind of in a staring contest in the Western Conference here.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. What about if you look now, obviously it's early because we could see some acquisitions via free agency or maybe other trades, but if right now, who would you see to start next season on a line with Bedard?
I think Kantserov is going to be on one of his wings. And I think part of the rationale there is, one, the offensive skill that he showed in the KHL against men, and the numbers that he was able to produce. But Davidson and Jeff Blashill both talked about liking having multiple guys that can take draws on a line, and Kantserov played center primarily this past year in Russia. So I think Kantserov will be on one side, and on the other, I think you kind of have to have a finished product to know what your options are. Tyler Bertuzzi had a great season last year. Most of that was not with Bedard.
Yes.
Which is unique, because Bedard's gotten, like everybody else, paid, like Ryan Donato and Philip Kurashev. You get 54 points out of Philip Kurashev. Maybe he should have gotten Hart votes as a rookie. So it might be Frank Nazar gets moved up to the wing there. He's played primarily center in the NHL, but he was a winger all the way throughout his hockey life until he went to Michigan. So maybe it's Nazar, maybe it's Nick Lardis, who had a nice first full pro season last year. They've got some options, but I think the gut feeling right now is that Kantserov will probably start on one of his wings, and they'll kind of see what the chemistry looks like from there on the other side.
Tab, really appreciate the rundown, my man. Should be interesting. Obviously now with no 4th overall pick, a little bit more relaxing time for you on Friday. But, man, with the way the week has gone, there could be a lot more movement coming up this week. As always, we appreciate your time. Have a great day.
Absolutely. Take care of Jason Dickinson and Connor Murphy for me, as we talked about at the deadline. You guys got a couple good ones, and I think they're going to do real well for the Oilers here with those new extensions.
Yeah, I know we got a lot of Oilers fans saying the Oilers should get in the trades. And I'm like, well, they made their big moves getting those 2 guys signed. That was huge for them. And Edmonton doesn't have a first rounder, so you eliminated most of the trades that were made. And most of the trades were made outside of Buffalo amongst teams who were, now other than the Nichushkin one today, teams who weren't in the playoffs, right? So those teams are a little bit more willing to want to wheel and deal, which is fine. But, I think Edmonton, the Nurse trade potentially could happen. And then, we'll see what they do in free agency here. But I think their big trade most likely is going to be Nurse.
Yeah, and just if you want to play connect the dots, if they're looking to really solidify defensively, and if Stan Bowman really liked what he saw with the PK in Chicago, keep an eye on Ilya Mikheyev when he hits the open market July 1st. He and Dickinson were really, really good together on the PK and also generating some offenses at third line. So maybe he's in the mix there for Edmonton at some point.
Awesome. Appreciate it, man. Have a great day.
Thanks, you guys, too. Enjoy the draft.
There you go. That's Tab Banford joining us from Chicago. TR, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We're going to talk some more draft stories, more on trade today in the National Hockey League, the Colorado Avalanche getting into things, and more on the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Looking for a solid 4x4 that checks all the boxes? The 2026 Jeep Compass is in stock now at St. Albert Dodge, and this is a great value, starting from just $36,900. It's a Jeep, so you've got 4x4 capability, plus features like an 8.4-inch touchscreen, Apple CarPlay, active lane management, a Park View rear backup camera, and more. Over 30 in stock right now in just about every color you'd want. Head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Silent Ice Sports and Entertainment is an innovative market leader across Western Canada. Properties include the Spruce Grove Saints, the Junior Prospects Hockey League, Silent Rides Charter Company, the Hockey Super League, and the newly launched Female Super League. Silent Ice also owns the Western Hockey League Seattle Thunderbirds and operates the Morinville AAA Arena. The Silent Ice Center, a new state-of-the-art entertainment facility in Nisku, features 2 sheets of ice, a 1,600-seat arena, as well as Summit Restaurant. Learn more at silentice.com.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
Wow. For a silly hockey fans, your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Hey, hon, I'm getting expressions and images to frame my hockey card collection in the man cave.
Perfect. I'll come with you and bring our wedding photos.
For sports memorabilia and family treasures, think Expressions and Images, your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
You want it? We got it. At Harley-Davidson of Edmonton, we have a huge bike inventory just waiting for you to ride. We're not a car dealer. We're your local family bike shop. We are riders supporting riders. Come find your dream bike here at Harley-Davidson of Edmonton on the Yellowhead Trail, locally owned and operated since 1980. Find us at hdedmonton.com.
Say hello to your new favorite drinks. Introducing new McCafe Refreshers. Icy cool, undeniably refreshing, and available in 3 flavors: strawberry watermelon, mango pineapple, and blackberry passion fruit. Only at McDonald's.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. The goal of every one of the thousands of hair restoration procedures I've performed is a full, natural-looking head of hair. I work directly with my patients for the consultation, the procedure, and the follow-up, so we can achieve the best results possible. When people see what we accomplish, I don't want them to think, "Wow, great hair transplant." I want them to think,
"Wow, great hair."
Go to drvanceelliott.com and contact us today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by UL, helping you finish your electrical project is their goal. From pot lights to electrical panels, the gear you need is at UL.ca or in person at one of their Edmonton area locations. UL.ca, your partners in power.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.348, welcome back to the show. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. As always, we appreciate you listening, watching the show. If you are watching, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button at YouTube, or even if you're not, just go over there and do it today. It's a very simple thing. Make Declan. We'll have a little fun contest on Positive Friday tomorrow. Might even tie it into the Elks. We'll see. Or Justin Rankin. Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll see where it goes. Terry Ryan, of course, with us as always on Thursday afternoons. TR, have you got World Cup spirit? Are you into the games?
Oh yeah, we were like I said, we're in Toronto the last week. It wasn't just myself. My dad came up and my daughter. We went to a couple of Jays games, did the Price is Right thing, and there was a lot of World Cup spirit going on. I mean, Toronto's the most multicultural city in the world, they say. Seemed that everywhere, there was games happening every day as well. Yesterday was a bit disappointing, but it was a great vibe downtown Toronto. And like I said, my daughter plays soccer on, Mount Pearl. She plays on the provincial team. She loves to play. So we take in what we can. We're heading up in our next soccer trip. We're going to watch the Ottawa Rapids. Is it the female team they're playing in August? Really looking forward to it.
Now, you mentioned the Price is Right. Did you get on the show? Did you get up? Were you on contestant row?
I don't think we can. I'm not really sure if I can say much about it, but no, I wouldn't. I can give you a hint, and no one in my group. You don't need to tune into the TV to see us cheer. Put it that way. But it was a nice experience, and got to go. Like I said, I flew my daughter up for it when I understood what was happening, and we went in. We were, I guess. I can't really get you. You're going to see us. We were.
When is it airing? Do you know what date your show airs?
Yeah, it was in the fall or winter.
Oh, so it's coming up in a few months.
Yeah, we were a lot of fun in the crowd, and there was some awesome things. And it was NHL day, so like Matthew Schaefer was there, like to help the contestants. They didn't know we were going to be there. I was there with Zenon Konopka, very unique and interesting NHL career. Mike Shute played in the minors a little bit. Kevin Harvey, Todd's brother.
Yeah.
And he played all pro players, and Kyle's brother, or Mike's brother Kyle. They all work with the Operators 793 union in Toronto. So they work together, and they included me. It was a lot of fun. So it was Tom Wilson, Matthew Schaefer, Jake Wallman was there, and Brandon Montour. There was four players, I guess, from in and around Toronto. No one knew that was happening. It was just NHL day. They filmed 3 shows a day. We went in there at 9 a.m. and the show started at 2:30, ended at 12:30, ended at 2:30. And there was a lot of moving parts, like you take total advantage of the time in between, the contestant show, and they got to mic people up, and the game's got to come out and in, and there's a lot happening. It's a crazy set. As a set dresser in a previous life, I was pretty impressed. But it was so everybody there, one of the, I had to have some kind of a hockey jersey on. I didn't know that. We went up with them anyway, but it was a lot of fun. There's the Price is Right, and then we were on the NHL Canada Price is Right, and it's amazing. But like I said, 3 a day for like 2-3 weeks in a row. They filmed like a whole season. It is wild. We got out of there, and I felt, we got out of there. It was tiring. Like I felt like that. That was a long time to be on and up and down and cheering and come on, get more into it and look straight ahead and don't look at the cut. Like a lot happening. You're almost like a prop as a crowd. I've never, ever been in a crowd that had so much to actually do. And yeah, for sure. Like there's a whole process to it. And like, then they were going again at 4 and they were going again at 9. And that's a big, my hat goes off to all of them. Howie Mandel, some quote unquote celebrities, you might say, and they're in these, and you can take, he's 7 years old. I'm sure he has options to make money. He's not going to go broke, but that's hard work. That would be hard for a 20-year-old, what he was doing there, as well as the whole crew. But 3 a day to come out and shoot and be on and try to be witty and back and forth and hold on now. Cameras in and wheels coming out and back and Plinko up and down. And I don't know, man. We were like, whoa, that was one show and I'm tired. So hats off to them.
All right. So there you go. So so the shows start in the fall, and then you don't know what date the ones that you were on will come out yet. Come out later on, probably.
I don't. The best I can do, like leaving there, I said is just I'm gonna post it on my Instagram, Terry Ryan 2020. It's the least I can do, or sorry, the best I can do. They told us ours will be on sometime in the fall. It's going to shoot for the fall and the winter. There's all kind. I mean, they're downtown Toronto now till Tuesday. Like I said, they're making their way across Canada. So tune in. It's going to be a lot of fun, and each one is themed. We were on the NHL, but we were going in afterwards, and it was when we were coming out. It seemed to me like a Comic-Con kind of thing.
Okay.
But it celebrates Canada in one way or the other. This was a lot of fun.
Do you afterwards and watching it for that minute? Do you have a new favorite game?
Oh God! Now that's when it's all over. I will talk specifically about a few of them. That game.
Oh.
They introduced a new game. I'd never seen it. They said at the beginning they were introducing a new game. This particular one I'd never seen, so I assumed this was the one. Because Plinko came out. I can say that, I guess. I already did. That's the classic.
Yeah, everybody plays Plinko. That's normal.
Yeah, there's a couple classics. But anyway, this one happened, and I watched The Price is Right a lot. I mean, it's almost omnipresent in my childhood. It was on every day, it seemed. And, I wouldn't know how many, hundreds and hundreds of episodes. And my daughter was right next to me, my dad, the boys, and there was a lady that got up, and it was just magical, man. It was just magical. It was incredible to see her go up and everything that played out. That's all I can say. But you'll want to tune in because I had tears in my eyes right off the bat. There you go.
Okay. All right. An emotional Price is Right with Terry Ryan. I like it. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. I like what you said off the top, TR, because about the Chicago trade, and you're like, everybody thinks like the number 4 pick is automatic lock, stone cold lock to be way better than Bo Byram. I'm like, who knows if he'll be as good as Bo Byram, and more importantly, when. Like, you're Chicago, at some point, you kind of gotta sink or swim here moving forward, and you can't just have all 20-year-olds and 22-year-olds and thinking that everything's going to be great. Right? It's just not how it works. Right? Like, it's not a surprise to me that the teams that have been historically in the playoffs and competing for cups are all the older teams. That's just how it is. Like, you need experience, man.
And that much experience at 25 is tough to come by. And every chance I do, every chance I get, I like to pump my buddies' tires, especially if they're Newfoundlanders. But Alex Newhook, look, he's only young. People don't realize, he just had that playoff with Montreal. And, a determination as much as anything. And you got to be in the right place. But he's a hard worker. He's a great hockey player. Now, that was a Stanley Cup run. He's won a Stanley Cup a few years ago with Colorado.
Yeah.
With Bowen Byron. And now this year scored 2 Game 7s. I mean, he's building a reputation as being a very, very reliable, experienced player. His experience helped that Montreal Canadiens team, and his locker room presence. You can see it I don't need to get specific, but before the games, he pumps guys up. He's a great guy to have in the room, on top of being an awesome player. But those sort of things matter. And it really matters to the Montreal Canadiens that they went out. And I remember when they got him, it was underwhelming. But on top of all of it, you're like, yeah, but he's like 22 and he's got a cup. And now he just went on that other run. And this is a big part of acquiring these players. A different sort of example, but from another era. People went out and got Claude Lemieux. Let's just make that relevant, I guess. He just passed away. For a reason, he's got 3 cups with 3 different teams. Mike Keane. Guys go... I'm not saying it's the same kind of player, but they were getting picked up for their experience and know-how in the room and their leadership. And sometimes the leadership is just having a young guy next to you and giving him a chance to breathe. You don't always have to be rah-rah. But if I was a young defenseman in Chicago, of which they have a lot, and they're going to have more, and they're in the next phase of rebuilding, you bring in a guy like that. Like when I look at him in the room and I see that he's not rattled in a certain situation, then it gives me a sense of calm. You know, I don't know, I don't have the same career those guys did, but when I was younger, I used to really look at a guy like Scott Thornton. Okay, he shoots left. He plays a lot of left wing. He's older than me, and he went in the first 10 picks. I think he went third. So I'm like, okay, you know, and when I need something, bounce an idea off somebody, it could be, where do we go to eat? It could be like, what sauce do I have with this pasta? I really, it could be anything. It's just nice to have someone that comes in and is really not an old man, but has had a lot of experience and can guide me along. And those players are so unique, and to get that much experience at that age, I think is hugely beneficial to everybody involved. And that doesn't show up on Hockey DB. People don't talk about it a ton, but in that room, people do, and they respect it.
3:58, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Terry Ryan with you. Let's get to the con man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire. Tires, wheels, vehicle repairs, and more. They don't just tell you what's wrong. They'll show you what's wrong with your vehicle with their digital vehicle report. Book your appointment today, fountaintire.com.
The Sports 1440 update.
Week 4 in the CFL gets going tonight as the Edmonton Oilers look to remain undefeated in Winnipeg. Kickoff set for 6:30 from the NHL. The trade's continuing. The Jackets acquiring Valerie Nikushkin from the Avs for a 2026 second, 2027 third, and a 2028 fifth-round pick, while the Panthers bringing in Garnet Hathaway and a sixth-round pick from the Flyers in exchange for fourth and fifth-round draft picks. The Flyers also retaining 50% of Hathaway's $2.4 million, and the Penguins acquiring Hendricks Lapierre from the Capitals for a third-round pick in 2027 and a fifth-round pick in 2028. At the World Cup today, Ivory Coast over Curacao 2-0, while Ecuador gets past Germany 2-1. Later on, you got Japan and Sweden, Netherlands up against Tunisia, Paraguay battles Australia, and the United States taking on Turkey from SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. Major League Baseball, Jays and Rangers from the Rogers Center. First pitch, 5:07. We'll join that game in progress following the Jason Gregor Show on our AM dial, 6 o'clock. Right now, the Giants lead the Athletics by a score of 6-4. Earlier today, the Rays beating up on the Royals 13-2, while the Mariners fell to the Pirates by a score of 5-1. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll get the campaign's 2-minute warning, ask 5 questions, and be joined by former NHLer Landon Ferraro. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, the Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text CHECK to 780-777-7777. That's CHECK to 780 all sevens. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Experience the home ice advantage with your window coverings. Novo Blinds provides factory direct pricing and fast turnaround on roller, zebra, blackout, drapery, and motorized blinds. Book a free in-home consultation at novoblinds.ca.
Are new McCafe crafted sodas just drinks or something more? Like Sprite Berry Bliss, Creamy Strawberry Coke, and Orange Dream. All swirled with fizzy flavor and topped with silky cold foam. Only at McDonald's. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
Canada's men's rugby team at Clark Stadium. July 4th, Canada takes on Spain. July 11th, a doubleheader as Canada battles Portugal and Tonga faces Spain. Build the home field advantage for Team Canada. Tickets at Ticketmaster.
You may get up early, but more than likely, the team at GS Construction have already gotten up before you, grabbed a coffee, headed to the site, and started their day. So while Edmonton wakes up, GS crews are already underground, quietly keeping things moving, upgrading, and laying the new underground infrastructure for our growing city. If you're the kind of person who goes to sleep with their steel-toed boots on, GS Construction wants to hear from you. We're looking for a maintenance foreman as well as a building and yard attendant. Visit gsconstruction.ca for more.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality.
It's after 3 o'clock. Welcome back, Jason.
For Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing
Shoulder
made in
pain.
China when Canadian made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots.
I just ran it down.
By Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the two best names in the boots business.
40.ca.
Boxing Day is back at the Brick. Find amazing deals all weekend long. Like save $1,000 off a genuine leather reclining sofa. Save up to 40% off select mattresses. Plus, get a 10% instant credit to use towards sleep accessories. And find the lowest prices of the year on select beds, dining tables, and chairs. Don't miss the return of Boxing Day this Saturday and Sunday only at the Brick. Exclusions apply. See in-store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
From casual rounds to tournaments to weddings, it all fits at Colonial Golf Club.
Excuse me, you mind if I play through? I'm in a bit of a rush.
No problem. Why are you wearing a tuxedo?
Oh, yeah, I'm getting married today. Just thought I'd play a round of golf before I say I do. Oh, looks like they're starting.
Great course conditions, greens that are always fast and true, and only 5 minutes from Edmonton and Beaumont. Colonial Golf Club. For more details and a book, visit colonial.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Elks Nation. Check out elksnation.ca. Articles, podcasts, and more breaking down the green and gold. The most in-depth WE football coverage, elksnation.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Gregor, Connor Halley, Terry Ryan with you on a lovely Thursday. It is game day tonight. The Edmonton Elks looking to remain perfect on the road, taking on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. That game will start at around 6:30 Edmonton time tonight. Connor Halley is out at the hosting the watch party. Cons, where are you tonight?
Heading out to Sherwood Park. Game on for the game tonight.
Oh, those little hoity-toity Sherwood Parkians, right?
Yeah, maybe Sean Brown will make an appearance. I don't know.
Yeah, no chance. No, where is that that softy? No, he's napping at like 6:30 at night. No chance. No chance. Out there, he's wearing his backward hat, right? Trying to be young. That's what he's doing right now. Wearing his extra small shirts just to show he's in shape. We know you're in shape, Brownie. You don't need to wear the extra smalls. Mix in a medium every now and then. Mix in a medium would be good. TR, are you sporting mediums, or are you still on the extra small shirts too?
Well, it depends the occasion. Depends where I'm going. Depends the time of year. Depends the occasion. But all of the above are ready to go in my toolbox.
Now, how often is Terry Ryan wearing the muscle shirt in the summer?
Oh, yeah, a lot. And it's not to show off. I don't have these big mats. I mean, they're okay for my age, but it's not because I have arms to be admired. I just like I buy like regular shirts, and when I'm almost done with them, I rip the sleeves off and I go with them to the rest of them. Then I put them out. Oh yeah, I bet you I have 30 of those.
30 of those,
yeah.
Not the white beater. And obviously we're not promoting that, but that's, everybody knows what I mean. Like the muscle shirt with no shoulders.
Yeah,
you just like to take off the sleeves on your t-shirts.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Bold.
Say for example, I'll promote my show, but this really happened. But they sent us over because we don't have merch or anything.
Yeah.
With a lot of people say, hey, can you bring out a jersey? I guess I could if you buy it. We don't have those. It's a completely different entity. Once in a while, they'll send us something. And they sent us over like these cool T-shirts, but they're just like black T-shirts with the outline of the bulldog on the front. Nothing else, just the bulldog, like no sub. Really cool looking thing, but a lot cooler when you rip the sleeves off. So there you go. There's one. I brought it to Toronto and I wore it around, and it was, I didn't do it for effect that I have big arms. It was like almost 30 degrees. We were at a Jays game, but it worked. Great.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that, buddy. I like it. We are going to get to the 2-minute warning coming up with Cam Tate in a second. But first, we're going to get to our stats of the day, brought to you by All-Star Construction. They underground utilities, power, gas, telecommunications, street lighting, and they are hiring. If you're looking for if you're just starting out, general labor, or You're an experienced guy. Go to All-Star Construction. Google, look them up, and it's a fantastic company to work for. They keep growing and expanding. So here's some stats for you to chew on today. Let's talk about Justin Rankin. What a start. Like, I don't think people realize how good of a start he's had. 426 yards from scrimmage already in 2 games. The CFL record, oddly enough, Mike Pringle owns it twice. 2,414 yards. He had the exact same amount of yards in 94 and 1998. And then Robert Mims, 2,207. John Cornish, 2,157. Willard Reeves, 2,140. Those are the top 5. Rankin's at 426. He's on pace for 3,834. Now, I don't think he's going to average 213 yards a week, but it's been wild how dominant he has been. Right now, he would need to average only 124 yards per game for the rest of the year to set the new record. If he averages 44.9 rushing yards a game and 53.4 receiving yards, he'll be 1,000 in both, which would make him the first player in CFL history to do that. Like, he has been off to an unreal start. And if I'm looking at Rankin tonight, they still haven't caught on, man. You go yards from scrimmage, you go receiving, whatever, rushing yards for sure. I almost lock it in. Like, it's never a guarantee 100 yards rushing, but the way Rankin's running right now, his big play capability, I'd lock it in at playalberta.ca for another 100-yard rushing game for him. Now, here's some numbers. This reminds me of Terry Ryan when he's playing in the slow pitch league out in Newfoundland. Cubs shortstop Dansby Swanson had 11 RBIs in a doubleheader yesterday. 11! That's tied for the third most, funny enough, all time. Nate Colbert had 13 RBIs back in August of 1972. And Cardinals slugger Mark Whitten had 13 also in 1993 in September. I wonder if that was the game when he had the 4 home run game or not. I can't remember. But crazy by Dansby Swanson. Now, he's the first ever shortstop to have 15 RBIs over a 3-game span, because he had 4 RBIs in the first game of the series, and it was a doubleheader yesterday, and he had 4 and 7 RBIs. The 15 RBIs are the most ever by a Cubs player in a series of 4 or fewer games since 1920, when RBIs became official. Now, Kiki Koiler had 15 RBIs in a 5-game series back in 1932. So if Dansby Swanson just gets 1 RBI tonight in the 4th game, that'll set the all-time record for the Cubbies. But, man, it's wild. As mentioned, the most RBIs by a shortstop over a 3-game span. The previous high was 14, set by Nomar Garciaparra back in 1999. Like, talk about a guy who is crushing the ball, TR. That's honestly, those are slow pitch numbers.
Yeah. There, when you think about, I love that about baseball. By the way, I just went to a couple of Jays games back to back. And you want to talk about unique stats? Hello, Hoffman. Anyway, just it's wild. I love going anyway. Both games I went to, the Jays blew it late, but very interesting. But yeah, once in a while, someone goes on a run. Like when you just said, like, you know, and that's seriously going on a run when the game has been around for so long, and there's 162 games in the regular season, and it goes back, like, you know, like the Red Sox. I was just looking at Red Sox stats, and they're like, well, you know, in 1911 when Fenway opened, this guy, and it's still like half comparable, you know, like at least more than other sports. I find it wild, and once in a while, someone will come in, and I mean, I guess my favorite Jays in recent history, the example would be Davis Schneider when he first came in. I can't remember, but it was like his first 3 games. And, you know, a good guy, too, that, you know, that people love in J-Land, and had a little bit of struggles this year. I wish him the best. But, you know, that something like that, right? And he was in the minors, and I forget, but he went like way down in the draft. But to come in, and if you do that, you have to get some kind of a chance after that. And sometimes it's like lightning in a bottle. Sometimes it's not. But it seems to me that for a sport that goes back so far, and there would be so many players and names and, you know, just so much analytics. Recently that something like that, especially with the Chicago Cubs that go back so far, It's very unique. It's one of the things I love about baseball. And a lot of people, I know that's where the analytic comes from. And I just read the book Moneyball again. It's an unbelievable book. It's better than the movie because it just, you go so deep. It's a deep dive into statistics and what makes baseball tick, a lot of it. But I just love it. Baseball's my favorite sport to analyze when it comes to statistics.
Yeah, it's a crazy number. Now, here's a player. I'm all for betting on yourself sometimes. But sometimes maybe you got to take a step back. So the big man out of North Carolina, Henry Visar, he rejected a nil deal that was worth more than $5 million to go back to NCAA. Instead, he opted out because he thought he was going to be a first-round pick. He slid all the way to the Hawks at number 52 in the second round. He ain't getting a $5 million deal this year probably. So that was a little bit of a bet that did not go his way early on. We'll see if it pays off later on. But, man, that would be a tough one for a guy mentally to get over. Say, geez, I just walked away from $5 million. And obviously the teams didn't value me as much as I valued myself. That's a tough one. Also, did you know, Tiara, how many golfers do you think have made the cut in all three majors this year in golf?
How many have made the cut in all three?
Yeah.
That's going to be some kind of a trick question. Let me say 15, 20.
22. So you're close. 22. Okay. Scotty Scheffler has the best aggregate score. He's at minus 13. But out of the 22 golfers who have made the cut in all three majors this year, only 10 of them are under par over the aggregate. I mentioned Scheffler at minus 13, Sam Burns minus 12, Justin Rose minus 11, Rory 10, Schauffele 10, Aberg 5, Morikawa 3, Cameron Young 2, Matt Fitzpatrick 2, Aaron Ray 2. That's it. Those are the only guys. Now, Corey Connor is one of the 22 players who has made the cut in all three of the majors. It just shows you how difficult it is to play in the majors in golf. Only 10 guys have made the cut in all three and been under par aggregate score overall. That is wild. That's how difficult it is. And, Scotty Scheffler hasn't won one this year. He's finished second. He's finished fourth. I think he finished 11th in the other one. He's been good, but, man, you got to be on. And it just shows you how difficult. Anytime you think, oh, golf's easy, it's not that easy. And kudos to Corey Connor, the Canadian. He's one of only 21 guys so far this year. And we'll see. The other guys, McNeely, Griffith, Goddard, Spieth, Stevens, Dustin Johnson, Matsuyama, Brian Harmon, Kurt Kitayama, and Michael Brennan are the only other guys who have made everyone. So we'll see how many of those 22 make the cut coming up in the final championship next month. And speaking of majors, the women's PGA championship for the major starting this weekend, started today. So there you go. That's our stats of the day, brought to you by All-Star Construction. Now, let's get to the 2-minute warning with Cam Tate, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where the rates never change. All of a sudden, AC conks out at night. Call Legacy. They'll come fix it. Or on the weekend, no overtime charges. LegacyHeating.ca. Here's the man, the myth, the legend, Cam Tate, in the Thursday edition of the 2-minute warning.
Now, you may have heard that Alphonso Davies, the greatest soccer player this country has ever produced, didn't play Wednesday afternoon for Canada's World Cup qualifier. Alphonso Davies, the guy who plays for Bayern Munich, the guy who runs so fast, the German Autobahn asked him to slow down, didn't play. And Canadian head coach Jesse Marsh looked the cameras dead in the eye and said, and I want to make sure I get this right, he said Davies was a decoy. A decoy. Alphonso Davies, decoy. That is like telling people Wayne Gretzky is out there just to hold the pucks. That's like saying the CN Tower is just up there to block the wind. That's like saying poutine is just a light snack. Jesse, my friend, a decoy is a rubber duck you throw in the water. Alphonso Davies is not a rubber duck. He is a rocket. In cleats. But you know what? I love this idea. I think Canadian sports should commit to the decoy strategy across the board, starting tonight, because the Edmonton Elks are 3-0, playing Winnipeg, and I have some tactical suggestions. Scenario 1. The Elks announce their starting quarterback. then wheel out a cardboard cutout at center field. Winnipeg spends all week game planning against him. The cutout doesn't audible, doesn't throw interceptions. Scenario 2. The entire Edmonton offense lines up in formation and quietly takes the bus home. Winnipeg false starts 4 times trying to figure out what's happening. The bus gets a Grey Cup ring. Scenario 3. Edmonton dresses a golden retriever at running back. The dog gains 0 yards, but nobody in the building can stop watching the dog. The dog is electric. The dog gets nominated for Most Outstanding Canadian Canine. In Scenario 4, my personal favorite. The Elks announce their entire team is a decoy, and the real Edmonton Elks are playing somewhere else. Winnipeg panics, flies to Regina. Edmonton wins at home in an empty stadium in front of the dog. Folks, Canada has cracked the code. You don't need your best players on the field. You just need to mention them in the pre-game press conference. 3-0, baby. Elks are rolling. And Alphonso Davies is somewhere watching from a luxury box, being very distracting. 2-minute warning with Gregor, Hallie, Kruger. Hey, is your cap a decoy? This is Tater, Sports 1440.
Yeah, the decoy, I know a lot of people you can't say the decoy worked. I think people got upset because they said it worked when they lost the game. So that part was a little interesting, but we've been saying it on the show for the last 2 weeks. I didn't expect Alfonso to play. I was told he wasn't going to play in any of the in the prelim games, and he didn't. And now we'll see if he's in there. The decoy, the mind games, TR. When you're in a big event like that, hey, anything goes.
Yeah, I am kind of confused. I guess we need to get into all of you probably beating this to death this week, and I didn't realize that. But the decoy is one thing. Okay, I guess we can't play. Never heard anybody say that, but I suppose. But it almost seems to mock the fact that we have Alphonso Davies. He's on the bench. Like, can this guy play? Is he going to play Sunday? Because if he does, I'm not laughing at the decoy comment. That was a huge game. Now they got to move. They're playing down in front of, different fans. It was an easy path. They needed a goal. Now you're good after 8 months or whatever the hell it is, and you're good after like another 72 hours. Bothers me from some level. Either it's management or it's Davies himself, but I'm bothered watching that he's not out there.
Yeah, well, a lot of it has to do with Bayern Munich. They want to ensure like this. They pay this guy huge millions and millions of dollars, and he came back, and then he had said to Team Canada before, "Hey, I wasn't feeling great," and then their doctor's like, "Oh no, you're fine," and then he got hurt again. So there's definitely some influence here from the club team that pays him to say, "Hey, we're not putting him on the pitch until our guy deems him ready to go." So I don't think it's a lock that he's going to play on Sunday. I think there's a really good chance, but I don't think it's a lock. So,
well, then why is he on the team? I know you're saying he's a bit good. I'm not against Alphonso Davies. He's hurt. Give me somebody. There gotta be somebody out there. Why is he there? Why is he wasting all of our time? Just have him off the team and talk about it next time. Get ready for 4 years from now. Give us somebody. It's embarrassing to me. We're all waiting. Or just tell us he's not playing. There's two sides to this, man. Either tell us he's not playing. If he doesn't play, we're all upset now. And if he does, we're saying, what the hell? I know Bayern Munich, but it's 3 days ago. I don't know. Something is rubbing me the wrong way, and I don't know if it can be salvaged unless they go out and they win 5-0.
Well, they got a break. A lot of people thought they're going to play Korea. Now, not that South Africa, hey, man, South Africa earned their way in. They just beat Korea, so they definitely can win. But Canada got a little break. I will say this. You know what annoys me? You're a host, and there's games in Vancouver, but you're not playing now in the elimination round, at least in round 32. Why aren't you playing in Vancouver? I don't get it. Like, to me, if you're the host, they should have said, okay, if Canada makes it through, they're going to play the game in Vancouver or Toronto. Like, that's a part of me I'm perplexed by. Because it's not like South Africa is a team that's higher than them in the standings. If they were, I'd be like, well, okay, maybe. But they're not. So why doesn't Canada have home field advantage in the round of 32? It makes no sense to me.
It's a great point. I never thought about that point. It didn't even cross my mind. I was thinking about other things, but you're right. Someone figured that would be a good idea. You had a team that's hosting. Yeah. Now you're playing. The game would totally be justified if Canada was still playing in Vancouver, given who they're playing. Again, no disrespect, but standings-wise, yeah, that's a really weird the way they. I mean, it's better for everybody. It's better for the game, better for everybody. Yes. Poor planning.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me, man. So, someone explain it to me. Well, Gregor, they have to have it solidified. And why? Why did they have to know the location? You knew that you could play a game in Vancouver or a game in LA. It didn't matter. Yeah. So why can't you just say, hey, if Canada's in, they're playing here. And whether they finish first in their pool or second in their pool. Now, I could understand if they're third. That I could make an argument, hey, you know what? They haven't earned it. Fine. But for this game, they're a higher seed than South Africa. Like, they got better point record. So to me, they should have, that's the whole point of being the host, is you get a host game. Right?
Totally. And no one... nobody would complain because it's completely justified.
Yeah.
So it's a really missed opportunity when you think about it, by something that should have been, they had enough time to plan it. It is only the biggest event in the world. They could have figured this out.
Yes.
It feels like a Bantam AAA hockey tournament in Truro, Nova Scotia or something. Oh, well, we didn't realize.
Yeah, it is definitely odd to me, for sure. Take a quick break. We'll return. Jason Gregor, Terry Ryan, Connor Halley. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca, where, hey, Elks fans, are you getting on board? Do you believe? Check it out, PlayAlberta.ca. We got some fun little combinations of Jays and Elks and separate together. Try it out, PlayAlberta.ca.
When your project can't afford downtime, call Japa Equipment Rentals. From excavators and wheel loaders to compaction equipment, Japa has the machines you need. Trusted since 1972. Visit japaequipment.com or stop our Edmonton or Calgary locations.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Cheering on Canada, Mexico, Australia, France, England, Brazil, Germany, Spain, and the rest of the world at the Druid Irish Pub.
Your World Cup headquarters.
Wear your colors, cheer on your team, and enjoy $6.50 Heineken every game.
Plus, your chance to win a ton of World Cup merch,
including hoodies, jerseys, soccer balls, and more.
The Druid Irish Pub, your World Cup headquarters.
Bringing Edmonton together, one soccer game at a time.
The Druid Irish Pub.
Cheer with us in the Mercer Building across from Rogers Place in Ice District.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
Jason Gregor isn't just a sports guy. He's a community builder with over $3 million raised for local charities. And his Gregor Foundation, he's making a difference on and off the air. Check out Gregor weekday afternoons on Sports 1440.
Summit Restaurant, located in the heart of the Silent Ice Center and just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Summit is your destination for exceptional house-made pizza, delicious entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails. Experience the perfect blend of flavor and ambiance in a modern setting. Join us for a straightforward yet elevated dining experience where our commitment to quality speaks to every bite and sip. Make Summit Restaurant your next night on the town.
Oodle noodle origin.
In 1864, Francis Oodle took over his dying father's business as a leatherman. He was quite proficient, but his heart was never truly in the trade. After his father's death, Oodle met a cocksure young man named Vladimir Nudell, who was a trailblazer in the popular new art of food boxes. They formed a partnership and aimed to ply their trade in the New World. At Ellis Island, Nudell was renamed David Noodle, and henceforth, the franchise has been known as
Oodle Noodle.
Boxing Day is back at the Brick. Find amazing deals all weekend long, like save $1,000 off a genuine leather reclining sofa. Save up to 40% off select mattresses, plus get a 10% instant credit to use towards sleep accessories. And find the lowest prices of the year on select beds, dining tables, and chairs. Don't miss the return of Boxing Day this Saturday and Sunday, only at the Brick. Exclusions apply. See you in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, jersey barriers, and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned, over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by the Druid Irish Pub, Edmonton's favorite soccer home. The Druid Irish Pub is back in the Ice District across from Rogers Place. Watch all the games with 650 Heineken only at the Druid Irish Pub.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Or 28, Gregor, Ryan, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, Sports 1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you're having a lovely Thursday. Beautiful day out in the capital region. Should be nice. Nice again tomorrow. A little bit of rain on the weekend. We'll just try to pretend that that's not happening. And by the sounds of it, tonight's game in Winnipeg, the first time this year that the Elks should avoid a monsoon. Hopefully, it stays true. But maybe a shower. That's it. Should be a pretty nice out to start the game tonight. Let's get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by Silent Ride Charter Company, one of Alberta's premier bus charter companies with state-of-the-art motor coaches that will safely take you or your group to your next destination. Book your ride at silentrides.ca. As we welcome to the show our regular Thursday contributor, former NHLer, Landon Ferraro, joins us. And Landon, man, it's been a wild week. I outlined it earlier, all the players that we've seen moved in the past 7 days in the National Hockey League. It's not something you see very often. And like some good players, right? Like top line guys, top pair defensemen have moved. Is there one trade that you've liked the best for one team?
I mean, I really like the Kesselring trade in to San Jose and the moves that they've moved or kind of doctored themselves around, simply because to me that shows that they're going to take Stenberg, at 2. And the thought of those two, him and Celebrini playing together as they moved Eklund on, like San Jose is just, they're fun to watch already. But like they seem to just keep making the right move after right move, and going to be a real issue for teams moving forward in a couple of years.
Yeah. We'll see. It's funny because that move I get, but the Eklund move I still don't really understand from a San Jose perspective. You traded a guy who was a 7th overall pick in 2021, who's now kind of starting to establish himself back-to-back 50-point seasons, right? He's not a big goal scorer, but you move him and another prospect to get the 9th pick. Like, to me, there's got to be something else in that trade, because otherwise I'm like, I don't really like, you need more than just 3 really good players to move forward. That one's surprising to me.
It is a bit like, it is for sure. But at the same time, I don't know, like with what prospects they do have, they know they're going to have to grab some D as well in there, because the back end, other than Dickinson, and they've brought Kesselring in, but he's, he had a decent time before moving to Buffalo and then just completely, disappeared from that roster, but has a decent chance of coming back. But they need more help on that back end. I don't know. It just, to me, Eklund is a very good player. I think they're going to be looking for a bit more size out of it, and I don't know. I don't know what his game's going to look like later in seasons and later come playoff time. Like, I haven't seen enough push at the same time. It's been obviously very early in his career, though.
Yeah, I find it odd. TR?
Well, Landon, you played for Mike Babcock. Now, outside of all the noise, do you think there's anybody that, will flourish under him?
Oh, there'll be guys that definitely do. He is at the root of it, like, he is a good coach, and that hasn't really been debated a ton. Yeah, it's been a long time since a championship and that, but he is a good coach, and he does, as much as he, in just my little experience with him, yes, he gets on you, and he says some things that make you think twice. I shared one before, but at the same time, like, as a fourth liner, it's exactly what he was saying the other day in his press conference of, I knew exactly what my role was, and I was there to finish 3 games at the end of the season, and I played the 7 games in playoffs, and we played a ton against the top matchup, playing against Kucherov and Stamkos' line in Tampa Bay. So, I mean, like, for a team that doesn't have a bottom 6 identity, a real true one, it popped up at different points over the past years. But to me, like, that's where the biggest difference can come, is that as much as he says what he says and he likes to hear himself at the same time, like, he does really give that bottom 6 a chance to grab a hold of a role and make themselves feel important and play big minutes.
And by extension, DJ Smith. I mean, is he going to be a loud voice? I guess, what will his role be within that room?
DJ Smith, sorry?
Yeah, DJ Smith.
Yeah. I think he'll be the one that kind of breaks it down between, right? Like, Babs will give his talk and do what he's going to do. And then, to me, like, DJ is going to be the one that's kind of that middle guy that will soften it or touch it up to where guys need it, and just kind of let them move on from there, and let him be the sounding board a bit more, the one that you can go and talk to a little bit and air things out before you go to Babs. Like, to me, that's what he's going to be doing. And then on top of that, I mean, he's a very good coach as well, and will be able to bring some different types of ways of going at the defensive side as well. But to me, I think it's just more about him being able to soften when things get tight in that room, because they're going to. Regardless of Babcock being the coach or not, this is a really big year for the Oilers. Now you add this part into it, things are going to get testy at points, and they're going to need someone on that staff that can calm that down a little bit.
Landon Ferraro joins us here, Sports 1440. Lots of the other day, Nichushkin gets traded today from Colorado, which seems like a salary dump. They get a second, a third, and a fourth in each of the next 3 drafts. Second this year, third next year, the fourth the following season. The Columbus Blue Jackets, there's some rumblings of that they're going to meet with their Norris Trophy winning defenseman and Zach Werenski next week, and we'll see where they go. Now, Nichushkin's numbers when he's healthy are pretty damn good. The problem is, he can't stay healthy. Is this a good risk, do you think, for Columbus? Or do you view this one as another, the Blue Jackets just got another guy $6 million who most likely won't live up to it?
I really hope it's the first one there. The hard part is, like you said, there's just been so many times where when you really need him, he's not available. And when he's in there, man, like, he is a big player that knows how to use his body and has skill and creates space. He's a very good player, but it is a bit of a coin flip. But when you're in a different spot, like a Columbus is and some other teams in the league, like you have to take some of those chances sometimes. It's not the, I know I always bring it back to Vancouver just because I'm in this market, but at the end, they started trying to make some moves just to keep Quinn Hughes happy, trying to keep him there, or keep him here in Vancouver. And it kind of feels a little bit of that, trying to just keep bolstering as much as they can to keep Werenski happy and give the team a little more time to build.
Looking ahead to, I mentioned Vancouver, and do you see an issue with the new head coach, like drafting his son? How do you think that would play? Like, he might be a really good player, but is that not the best situation to put a kid in? What do you think?
I mean, it's definitely tough. Like, you can't sit here and say that it's not an added pressure on Caleb if that's how it turns out. Like I know Manny pretty well, and I used to train with him and skate with him, and while he was finishing up his career, and I really don't think it will be an issue. Just the way that he runs himself, how he treats people, how I've seen him with his family, like things like that. I really don't think it will be an issue, but that doesn't mean that doesn't add the pressure or stress on top of it. Because once Caleb gets to Vancouver, if he is picked here and, he goes to college next year, maybe turns pro the year after that, all those questions, and anytime there's extra ice or less ice or power play opportunity, like even though he'd have the third overall tag on him, those lines are still going to be there. And, that is tough.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. You talk about, I want to get your thoughts on, and TR, I want you to answer this one too, as both former players, because we've had a lot of people wondering, the leadership group comes out, McDavid's like, hey, you know what? We need a coach. We need a coach to be hard on our top guys. And now this was a team that went to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final, went to Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final. Like, they've been pretty good. Where do you, like, is it just feeling like, we have to have something different? Or is there a little risk here involved? And is there any concern to you that they're like, well, we need a coach to be hard on us because we're not hard enough on ourselves? What do you guys think of it?
Oh, to me, it's trying to find, like, they're just searching for that piece because they've been so close. A couple of years ago, there was big injuries and that really affected their chance in the finals. The next year it just wasn't there. To me, I think it's more still looking at the roster and tweaking things, trying to shore up your goaltending a bit more, but again, just focusing on the roster, but the players can't do that. And for the management, they're doing what they can, but they can only make so many trades or sign it. Like, they're too constricted in a lot of ways. So the only other thing you can focus on is the coach and saying that that's the missing piece right now. Like, that's how I look at it. You look at McDavid and Draisaitl, like, especially in the playoffs, it's not like they don't work defensively. It's not like they need someone to come in and show them how to play defense. Like, they're good 200-foot players. So to me, it's just a lot of trying to find something to focus on because you can't control the rest right now.
TR?
Oh, go ahead.
No, what was your thoughts on it? Like, what do you make of the players saying, hey, we need someone to motivate? It's like, shouldn't they be like, at this stage of their career, be like, hey, we got to play great defensively. I'm going to play great defensively.
Yeah. And it defensively is more of a mindset in my decision or in my experience. Not everybody's a great defensive player, but you can adapt. You can put yourselves in the right positions and you can go out and work hard. And to me, I used to enjoy, if I wanted a chance to play, a good window to that would be, give me a chance for some penalty kill. I don't have to think too much. I can go out there, play defense. I can block shots. I can show you that. I think I know where to go. It's hard to go out there and say I'm going to score a power play goal.
Right. Yeah. So it's more of a mindset. And so
yeah.
Do you think the coach can instill that, or does it have to come from the player?
Oh, God. Well, A combination of both, but I think it's more instillable than it would be to instill offense, put it that way.
Yeah.
TR, would you not say that, like, it is instillable because there's nothing worse than sitting in a video room watching, knowing as the clip gets put on the screen that, oh, this is my mistake in about 6 seconds.
Yeah, that is that's a big reason for motivation for sure, and it's just to me it's an easier task to go out and prove myself, and yeah, you don't want to be that person in the video room. That's a great question. You know, the way I looked at it would be different than the way someone else that probably came in with more offensive upside, maybe, you know, early on. I was always looking at it from the point of view that, you know, again, I didn't get drafted on defense, but two-way was part of it. And if I started to slip, I knew I could go out there. And now there were coaches that helped me with that more than others. I'll go back to Bob Laux, my junior coach, my draft year, big Western League legend. Like, I wouldn't have really approached it like that if it wasn't for him. You know, he really helped me with where to go because positionally I was a centerman. Up until that point, I had to go over and play left wing. So I think that's a judgment call. Each player is a little bit different. For me, that was my experience.
Yeah, that's totally fair. Landon, give me your thoughts quickly. Now, Darnell Nurse has a $6 million bonus that's due on July 1st. So now his cap hit would be the same, but his money owed then drops significantly. Do you think that, like, I would assume from a financial standpoint, maybe that makes him way more attractive? So do we wait until after July 1st to see a Nurse trade? Or do you think it possibly still happens before then so Edmonton knows exactly what they have?
Oh, I mean, it could definitely happen before then, but you'd have to think that the signing bonus is something that teams are looking at. And when it's Darnell Nurse that, you know, has a good amount of interest in him and is obviously, you know, a solid player, but it's not a star player that you're like, okay, we need to make, like, even if we got to give up a little extra, just make this happen now. To me, I feel like teams will say, like, why would I write that check if I can wait another week and a half and take a run at it then?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, who knows, right? But right now, I know 3 teams are on the list. I can't guarantee there's any more. It might only be the 3, Philly, Pittsburgh, and Boston. And so when you have a short list, guess what? It limits, you know, the ability to get a return. It limits, you know, if those teams want to make the move or not, and they'll see what else. And, you know, you circle back and you talk to them. And, you know, sometimes a trade will facilitate itself in a week. Sometimes it's been conversations over a course of a month. So I know some people are thinking like, Bowman's not doing any work. They haven't traded Nurse yet. I don't really look at it that way. You're not going to force a trade. And I don't believe the Oilers are in a position to make a trade that they clearly lose. That doesn't do them any good.
No. And, you know, the point of, you know, there's only being a few teams on that list, like, those teams know that as well. And that only strengthens the, why would I pay more money than I have to if I can wait and get it done then, right? So again, it's not the entire league they're fighting against. It's a couple other teams, and for the most part, you're probably thinking they're along the same lines.
Landon, have a good one, buddy. We'll talk to you when free agency has begun next week. Have a great day.
Yeah, you as well.
There you go. That's Landon Ferraro, of course, as a pre- and post-game host here on Sports 1440. We'll take a quick break. We'll return. It is the Gregor Show. We got 5 questions next here on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Japa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
Noodle, 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 noodle. Noodle, 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 noodle. Noodle, 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 noodle.
Throw the load down to Oodle Noodle tonight because dine-in is open.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
A huge thank you for making Sports 1440 the most listened to sports radio station in Edmonton. From Gregor to Carius to Low Tide, we've got in-depth analysis on all your favorite sports. We are Sports 1440.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Say hello to your new favorite drinks. Introducing new McCafe refreshers. Icy cool, undeniably refreshing, and available in 3 flavors. Strawberry watermelon, mango pineapple, and blackberry passion fruit. Only at McDonald's.
It might have been scraped by the snowblower, dented while door crashing, or crunched at the company Christmas party. At some point over the winter, your car was damaged, and it's been hiding under a coat of winter grime.
Then come and see Robertson Body Works. We can take care of the damage and the dirt. This week only, call and book a repair and get a complete auto detailing absolutely free.
But you have to book your appointment before the week is up. Go to robertsonbodyworks.com.
I'm Tim Robertson, and I fix cars.
Step onto the field of dreams and into sporting glory. Join the Riverhawks Community Foundation on August 22nd for the Field of Dreams Festival at Remax Field. This isn't just any event. It's an adult baseball camp featuring former Toronto and Edmonton baseball star Devon White. Swing for the fences from 5 to 10:30 p.m. while supporting local youth sports. Upgrade to VIP for an exclusive meet and greet. Tickets are going fast. Secure your spot today at riverhawksfoundation.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Mortgages to Go. Need cash and have equity in your home? Mortgages to Go has you covered. When the bank says no, they say yes, and they've been doing it in Alberta for over 23 years. Call 1-888-888-5998 or visit mortgagestogo.ca.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
Oh, buddy, this is a banger that is just a classic song that ages incredibly well. And that song come out today and kids would love it. Sick tune. Heck, TR was probably back when he was driving around with his rag top.
Technotronic.
Yeah, buddy. Sick tune.
Ya Kid K is singing that. Kid K.
Yeah,
Technotronic.
Yes.
Move This would be my favorite by them.
Oh, yeah, they had some good songs, buddy. Really good. Snap. I Got the Power. It's another classic from that era.
Rhythm is a Dancer.
Oh, yes. Really good.
Oh, yeah.
I like it. Let's get to 5 questions. They're always really good. Brought to you by The Brick, where guess what? Boxing week right now. If you're looking for fantastic deals this weekend, oh my goodness, on Saturday and Sunday, you can get a 5-piece dining package starting at only $5 $99. You can get below cost HD TV, only $99. Or hey, just for Connor Halley, a waffle maker, $79 at thebrickandthebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
Question number 1 for you guys. Let's get the official predictions. Elks and Bombers tonight. You can throw an X factor in there as well if you'd like.
Go ahead, Jason.
I actually think the Elks are going to keep rolling, man. They're playing really well. They got some confidence. Winnipeg's a very good team, but right now the Elks, I'm curious to see what they can do offensively in good weather. So I'll say the Elks win. Close game, 20. Actually, no, I'll say 30-27. And X factor, I'm going to go with the O-line tonight. O-line gets a lot of protection, which allows for Jardo to complete more passes.
Yeah, I'll just participate. I don't know anything about the situation. So let's say the Elks will win by 10. I wouldn't be able to give you an X factor because I don't know anybody playing in the game.
Question number 2 then. Do you guys see any more first-round picks in the NHL being moved before the draft tomorrow night?
Oh. Yeah, for me, that's just a game of guessing. A lot's happened so far, so I wouldn't expect it, but I'd welcome it, unless there's a reason. Yeah, you'd have to know the game more in depth than I do for the answer to that, and I bet you Jason has it.
When I look at more first round picks cons being moved, well, I know I see it all. Everybody's like, oh yeah, they're going to move up. Now everything's been different this year. We haven't seen this much movement. 20 players traded in a week, and like good players, right? Like top pair defensemen, top line wingers. We don't see that. But historically, guys moving up. San Jose's maybe the only one I could see potentially moving, but rarely does a team move like from 5 to 4 or 6 to 5 because they're not willing to give up the extra asset. They like a lot of guys. The separation, like it would have to be significant for one team, I think, to want to move into the top 5 at this stage. I'd be surprised. I could see San Jose. The only way San Jose trades that number 2 pick is if they get a whopper of an NHL player.
Question number 3. John Chaika says he doesn't anticipate the Leafs trading Morgan Riley, but should he consider it?
Well, for me, I think it's similar to the Nurse situation. Just, if I can get some, the way, when these guys are constantly on the trading block, you have this there's this cloud around it, like that can border on negative. And these are good players. It's just the contracts and where they lie within their team. There's a lot of use for Morgan Riley somewhere for sure. So for that reason, I wouldn't be just looking at unloading him for nothing. He's an asset. He gets talked about so much that the expectations are so high that sometimes people just forget how long he's been there and how good he is. Now he's not going to be your number 1 guy, but somewhere in a lineup on the right team, he's going to be an asset.
I would look at, Morgan Riley plays the most minutes. Yeah, you can trade the guy. But if you believe, and obviously they just added Darren Radish, they believe that they want to get back to the playoffs. So to just give away Morgan Riley, you got to get something in return. You don't just replace a 20-minute defenseman out of thin air.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't see, if Toronto believes that they want to compete next year, and if Radish is now their top guy and Riley's going to play but not play as much, but he could be better, that's fine for them. So I don't see any reason to rush to trade Morgan Riley other than it would be doing something for the sake of it. Right? Riley was never the issue when they lost.
Yeah.
They never had enough good overall defensemen. He's fine, but they never had it wasn't his fault they loaded up with all $10 million forwards, not realizing that they needed a little diversity in their lineup.
Question number 4 for you guys. Since TR was in the audience for The Price is Right, okay, I'm going to make it a 2-part question. What is your favorite game from the Iconic Game Show, and do you have a least favorite game as well?
TR?
Well, I like the clock game. I like the cliffhanger game, the yodeler. If there had to be a least I mean, I like the look of Plinko. When I was in the audience, I was hoping, I don't want to have to think about it. It's just leave it to pure chance. But really, Plinko's not that great of a game. There's only one chance you're going to get 10,000. The odds are against you. The next person coming up might win a car. You're going to get a couple of grand out of it for Price is Right. Is that great? I'm not sure. And, it just leaves everything to chance. An elephant could get up there and get the exact same result by using its trunk. So I don't know. I probably think that's the worst game. But go ahead. What do you think?
You know what? It's fair. I would say, to me, the worst game was the Golden Road. It's older. I don't even know if they have it anymore, but God, that was way too hard. Like, I never saw anybody win on that game. So Golden Road, suck that one. I like the kind of like the money game, where usually it had like two numbers and you had the front of a car and then you had the back of a car. Right. So, you look at, and that one I kind of liked. It wasn't that difficult. I'd seem like, hey, I'd have a decent chance with it.
Yeah.
So you just had to know a little price point to get the, as many picks as you could for it. So I like the money game.
Good picks. Final question for you guys today. It is National Bomb Pop Day, which I always thought were called rockets, the red, white, and blue popsicle. So my question for you, when you're a kid, the ice cream truck, the ice cream man rolls through your neighborhood. What would be your order?
Yeah, so this, I wish I had more for you here. Like, I'd at most get a Mr. Freeze, the odd 1 in every 10. I wasn't big on the ice cream guy. I like salty snacks. I'd wait all day for a sandwich and then wash it down with 1,000,000 liters of Gatorade. If the guy, I suppose if the ice cream man came, straight up popsicle or something like that. I didn't like the sugar making me more thirsty in the summer. I mean, it's all good. It's cold for a second. But my idea of a nice ice cream is on a patio when the sun's going down. It's a different circumstance. There you go. I'd say Mr. Freeze or something that's just straight up popsicle.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, man, as a kid, I remember when, like, what was the, I know they had like it was like the red, white, and blue one, right? And I had like it could look like a rocket at the top, and then it went down. But when they had the creamsicle one like that, Cons, that one would be my favorite. And just a classic, like, I like the drumstick, right? I want the chocolate drumstick all day. Those are great. What about you, Con Man?
Yeah, man, we used to get the guy coming through the neighborhood all the time. You'd hear the music. We'd all run outside. A lot of kids on our street. I used to get those, like the ones that were characters when I was really young, like Batman, and it would look nothing like Batman, and then it would melt super fast all over you.
That one had all extra crap in it. That was like the worst thing for you.
So as a young kid, I would get that, but then you get older, just ice cream sandwich, especially if they had the Oreo one. A little more expensive, but that was the pick for me.
Well, what about is it the cookie one where you have cookie on top, ice cream cookie? That one's pretty damn good.
Great pick.
Yeah. That one is very good. So I like it a lot. But it's a good time of year, buddy. TR, have yourself a great weekend. The Blue Jays, Gosman, pitching tonight, so we'll see if they can get a win. And do you think the San Jose Sharks make both of their 2nd and 9th overall picks tomorrow night?
Yes, I do.
Ooh, okay. I like it.
If it's me, it's going to, it all depends. I'm going to go with yes, but of course it would depend. So I just think so much has happened so far that maybe they're going to gather their thoughts, take the picks, and maybe go from there.
Awesome. TR?
Maybe trade them after.
Yeah. Okay. Have yourself an awesome weekend, and we'll chat with you next week.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Connor. Thank you, Edmonton, and we'll chat soon.
There you go. That's Terry Ryan. Joins us Tuesdays and Thursdays here on Sports 1440. Coming up, Mark Spector will join us. Eddie Steele's coming in studio, talk a little football as the green and gold are in Winnipeg. So that's all coming up after Connor Halley. Sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. You got it. This is your final weekend of the Road Trip Ready event, their biggest sale of the year. If you're looking for a vehicle, you're kind of on the fence, stop in this weekend. It's going to be raining outside anyway, so get inside the showroom. You get a great deal, northgategm.com.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Week 4 in the CFL kicks off tonight from Winnipeg as the Elks taking on the Bombers. It gets going at 6:30 in the NHL. The Columbus Blue Jackets acquiring Valerie Nikushkin from the Avs for a 2026 second rounder, 2027 third, and a 2028 fifth round pick. The Florida Panthers bringing in Garnet Hathaway and a 6th round pick from the Flyers in exchange for 4th and 5th round draft picks. Flyers also retaining 50% of Hathaway's $2.4 million salary, and the Penguins acquiring Hendrix Lapierre from the Washington Capitals in exchange for a 2027 third and a 2028 fifth. World Cup action right now. Japan, Sweden, Netherlands, Tunisia just underway. Both games scoreless. Later on tonight, Australia taking on Paraguay while Turkey gets the United States. Earlier today, Ivory Coast flanking Curacao 2-0, and Ecuador doubles up Germany by a score of 2-1. In the majors, Jays Rangers just about to get going from Toronto. We'll join that game in progress on our AM feed following the Jason Gregor show. Earlier today, Pirates over the Mariners 5-1. Giants falling at home to the Athletics 9-6, and the Rays beat up on the Royals 13-2. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet and Grey Cup champion, also from Elks Nation, Eddie Steele. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Mr. Rooter buries evidence in the desert.
I didn't mean to do it. I was forced into it. Yeah, forced. But now, no one...
Connor Halley, Terry Ryan.
You've done well, Mr. Rooter. You did something awful, but you've covered your tracks. It's done. The last transcript that shows I did a semester of nutrition school.
Uncover evidence of the proudest plumber, Mr. Rooter.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com. Boxing Day is back at the Brick. Find amazing deals all weekend long, like save $1,000 off a genuine leather reclining sofa. Save up to 40% off select mattresses. Plus, get a 10% instant credit to use towards sleep accessories. And find the lowest prices of the year on select beds, dining tables, and chairs. Don't miss the return of Boxing Day this Saturday and Sunday only at the Brick. Exclusions apply. See in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
A huge thank you for making Sports 1440 the most listened to sports radio station in Edmonton. From Gregor to Carius to Low Tide, we've got in-depth analysis on all your favorite sports. We are Sports 1440.
Are new McCafe crafted sodas just drinks or something more? Like Sprite Berry Bliss, Creamy Strawberry Coke, and Orange Dream. All swirled with fizzy flavor and topped with silky cold foam. Only at McDonald's. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
The Riverhawks return this weekend for First Responders Firework Friday. Enjoy Country Nights Mechanical Bull on Saturday with Daisy's Saloon. Then Boston Pizza presents baseballs and body slams on Sunday with a real wrestling ring. Fun for the whole family. Tickets at gohawks.ca.
Good to go. With Mortgages to Go, you'll be good to go. Mortgagestogo.ca says yes when the banks say no. That's why Alberta has trusted Mortgages to Go for over 23 years. If you need cash and have equity in your home, you're approved instantly, guaranteed. Call 1-888-888-5998. That's 1-888-888-5998. With Mortgages to Go, you'll say, good to go.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh.
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's personal. Let's discuss all the cutting-edge options available so you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
Nissan's through once again, and they've done it 12 years straight. Nissan Rogue's a 2026 Best Buy winner from Consumer Guide Automotive for 12 years in a row. The Score with Nissan event is on, and qualifying Nissan owners can score by leasing a 2026 Rogue S for the equivalent of $99 weekly at 0% for 36 months with $0 down. Visit Nissan.ca for details. $430 monthly. Includes $1,100 Nissan bonus and 0.4% loyalty rate reduction. Conditions apply.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information.
Portions of this hour brought to you by 01 Athletic Care, Edmonton's multidisciplinary health clinic at West Edmonton Mall. Physicians, physio, massage, sports psychology, and more. One team, one roof, one plan. Book now at 01.ca. That's ZERONE.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Rolling through a busy Thursday afternoon. World Cup continues on as Canada, if you missed it, Canada, everybody thought they were going to play South Korea. No. South Africa had a big win, 1-0 last night. So it's going to be Canada against South Africa. And this is what I don't understand. So USA is guaranteed if they're first or second that they get home game in the round of 32. Canada doesn't. Like, it makes no sense. You're playing games in Vancouver and Toronto. Why wouldn't you have Canada's game there? Like, I'm sorry. That's a terrible decision. I don't care if it was other countries in the other part of the world, I'd say it was stupid, right? It would be. Come on. Don't make excuses for it. It's dumb organizing. Oh, USA, don't worry. You'll automatically be getting home. That's the whole point of being a host team. You pay all the money for it, and now you don't even get the first elimination game on home soil. D-U-M. Dumb. I tell you, dumb. Big game here, Japan and Sweden. Man, Sweden's likely got to get a win to move on. If they draw probably would get them in, I would think, to be in one of the top 8 third place teams. So we'll see. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. The Elks are on the road in Winnipeg tonight, 6:30, about 6:35. Kickoff between the Bombers and the Green and Gold. And it's time and we'll have some fun little prop bets at PlayAlberta.ca. Check out the Jason Gregor Show. We got some Elks ones to win. A little over because there's been a lot of points scored in the CFL. Hopefully that continues. I love offense, man. Love it. I think it's good for the game. More lead changes back and forth. We've had 3 games go to overtime already this season, so it's been very close. I love it. Let's get to the Spec Report brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialists working year-round. Just remind you, go through the construction zones. Sunny out. You're excited. Go slow. They want to get home just as quick as you do. gsconstruction.ca. Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet joins us once again. Spec, good afternoon. How you doing?
Busy day, lots going on. Holy cow.
It is, yeah. Well, another trade. You got the Elks. A lot of Oiler fans like, what are the Oilers doing? Well, I look at all those trades that were made. Well, first of all, any trade involving a first rounder, the Oilers were out because they didn't have a first rounder. I guess the closest trade that would resemble them would have been the Colorado trade because Colorado basically dumped a salary there in Nichushkin to get
pretty good player though. I mean,
yeah, he's a pretty good player, but hey, Spec, let's be honest here. Can't stay healthy, and there's been some significant lack of trust because of his teammates, where that guy kind of went AWOL, right? So yeah. I can understand that eventually you're like, you know what? We're adding in things here. I wonder if they've got another move like Mason Marchment going to Colorado as a free agent. Wouldn't shock me at all. Sure. Now they freed up $6 million to do it. So I think that's probably where they're looking to say, hey, we like Nichushkin, but if we get rid of him, maybe we're just we're looking for a different opportunity at this stage.
Yeah, right. So, and he went to Columbus, so that's, I don't know. I mean, the guy, to be honest, I mean, I know he had probably some issues, some addiction issues and stuff, but he had a hard time staying focused, playing for a team that was in the race every year and a Stanley Cup contender. I'm not sure how that's going to parlay to Columbus, where you're not in that position, but good for Columbus. They need good players, man. That franchise got to get going at some point. My question too is this Nikishin, the defenseman in Carolina, like, what's not to like about him? He's a very good player. He's young, right shot, lots of points. And Eric Tulsky doesn't think that much of him by the sounds of it, huh?
Yeah, I don't know about, like, if you're offering to get Hellebuck, you got to give up something. Like, what do you think? You're going to get Hellebuck for a bag of chips?
Well, it sounds like he's available, though, like, not just for, I get it. If you're going after Hellebuck, then you got to put good players in the pot. But it sounds like you might be available either way. Yeah. So that would be my question. Who trades that young, affordable? I know he's an RFA, but I mean, how much can he make?
Well, you got to remember, Spec, this the billionaire owner in Carolina. Like, did you see what he wants the taxpayers to pay for his new building in Portland? He just bought the team, right? Like he's not a guy who's he loves everybody else to spend their money rather than his billions. So he's probably
like every other sports owner, Jason, like all of them, like every single one.
Well, no, there has been some owners who built their own facility. Not all of them. There has been. They look at Nikishin and they're like, he's a good player. He's young, but kind of sheltered minutes, right, in Carolina for them. Like, really added no offense. I think he had 1 point in the playoffs at 5-on-5, the whole playoffs for them. So I think he's a good player, but I'm not ready yet to jump on to think like this guy's a world beater. Because I'll say this, Beck, in that system, we've seen lots of players who look good in Carolina, and then they go elsewhere, and you're like, oh, this guy wasn't as good as I thought.
Well, maybe it's just when you have a good young player like that, and for some reason you're making him available, especially in a town, you point out Dundon's cheap. There's probably going to be a self-imposed cap there, and this guy's got to be affordable. You still have control over him. He's an RFA. But anyway, let's see what happens with a guy. Let's see how good a player he turns into.
Yeah. Who knows? That's the challenge about it, man. You look at the Elks back on the road. Yeah. They're 2-0, and you know what? It's been brutal conditions, but they played very well. Justin Rankin is off to an absolutely ridiculous start. Like, I've been outlining his numbers, man. Like, he's on pace for 3,800 yards from scrimmage. The record is 2,400. Like, it's not like he's a little bit above. Like, he is on. Now, I know he's not going to stay at that pace, but it's still pretty damn impressive because he's doing it. Like, this guy is a pretty dynamic player. He led the CFL last year in yards from scrimmage. With just over 1,700. He already has 426 through 2 games. Like, I think we're kind of sleeping a little bit on how dominant this guy is as far as must-watch players in the league right now.
Yeah, that's fair. And I mean, we all predicted, particularly in a rainy game last week in Edmonton, that, the key to that game was to get the ball in Rankin's hands with a little bit of space and a little bit of time to find his way. And a really top-notch back that's hard to tackle on a rainy, slippery day, that's the guy who should have the rock in his hand. That's just simple football 101 right there. As the season goes on, Winnipeg, they got film. They're watching Rankin tonight. We're going to hit the point here where the opposition says, look, you might beat us, but that guy ain't beating us. You got to find a second way to beat us. Yeah. And that's where we'll find out what the Elks have. Cody Fajardo, like I said to you last week, he reminds me of Tom Wilkinson. Look very good doing whatever he's doing, but he seems to get it done. His arm is, I don't know, on this big CFL field with that arm, like, I guess I'm going to ask you right now, if the Eskimos get forced into a position where they have to throw the ball downfield constantly, does he have a good enough arm to be that quarterback and win games throwing it downfield?
Not deep. No, he does. He's not. He can throw it downfield 20 yards, 25 yards, but
they're all rainbows, man. Yeah, they're all rainbows.
If you're looking for go deep over the top, not very often. I will say that, and I know that the grip on the ball, like even Davis Alexander's got a can of an arm in that conditions in Edmonton. Yeah. He wasn't hucking it downfield. So I'll be curious. Like tonight, I'm curious about their offense. I know Rankin's going to be involved. And what's interesting is the Elks have said, like, they've got a few packages here they just haven't ran yet, including Rankin, because of the conditions. So I'm a little curious to see kind of what more they have, and more so, like, what more they have from some of their other receivers, because they've been limited in what you could do simply because it's been monsoon rain in both games.
Yeah, that's it. I want to see the rest of the package too. I totally get it. And we're not criticizing anyone. They won 2 games. There's no criticizing the win, especially when you're the Elks, and wins haven't come real easy here for the last many, many years. So awesome. 2 wins, bad conditions. They found a way both times. I thought they limited mistakes, the penalties. They weren't taking many penalties. And that to me is, in the CFL, that's get you 40% of the way to a win right there if you don't bury yourself in penalties, because the CFL ref will throw that flag on you. So let's see what they got. I'm interested to see them play a game that's not wildly affected by weather, and let's see how you play on a dry field, on a calm night. Let's see what you got. I'm looking forward to it.
Mark Spector joins us. Spec, so Stan Bowman's approach, I saw you tweet out about Connor Ingram, and that Ingram would like to stay in Edmonton. So my question is, why is the deal not being done if he wants to stay here?
Well, I mean, to be honest, money.
Okay.
Money. That's why. I mean, traditionally, the way these things work is this. He is a UFA, Connor Ingram.
Yeah.
And the Oilers have obviously until basically June 30th to they have, it's their right to sign him. So you ask, when you're only dealing with one team, your numbers, you have a high number. Why? Like, you got to pay Connor Ingram for not testing the market, and not just Connor Ingram, any UFA. He's earned the right to test the market here. And if he's going to not test the market, it's probably going to cost you a little bit of salary. Now, on the other side of the equations, I think Stan Bowman has his he's out there looking for a guy better than Ingram. I don't really, do you think that the Oilers really want to bring back the exact same pairing the end of the season with last year, Jay?
Probably not. But it's funny. I think if you would pick which one to move, it would probably be the other guy.
For sure it would, but that's not that easy.
No,
I feel like Stan Bowman has his hands in a couple other pies, and we're waiting to see what happens. And here's the game of chicken, right? Do I let Connor Ingram get to UFA? Ottawa's loving, they're all over Ingram. So by the sounds of it, they'd love to sign him. So if I'm Stan Bowman, do I take a risk of trying to acquire some goalie whose name I don't even know at this point? Or do I think that maybe I'll get Tarasov from Florida as a UFA? Or maybe I don't think they want Markstrom, but maybe there's a Markstrom deal. Or do I take the bird in hand and say, I know Ingram, I control Ingram a little bit here as a UFA. He likes it here. He wants to sign. Do I make a deal with him? I'm not sure which way Bowman will end up on.
Yeah, it is like the goalie market. We've talked to Kevin Woodley about it a lot, looking at the players. And he actually said that, he, out of all the goalies available, Tarasov, of course, had the best numbers. Ingram was right up there afterwards. So
it was right there.
Yeah. Like the Bobrovsky talk doesn't really make, well, especially when you look at his contract ask. Like, I'm fascinated to see, like, you can ask for it. And I don't hold any ill will against him for asking. Of course you want to ask for big ticket. That's great. But for me, I'm curious, what are teams going to be willing to want to pay Sergei Bobrovsky?
Oh, that's, exactly. I don't see anyone giving him a 5-year deal at age 38. Like, forget it. Personally, I wouldn't. Maybe there's someone out there will. I wouldn't. No chance. So, listen, let's get back to the Oilers. One of the things about the Oilers for me is they're a team that they're looking for a goalie that has good sort of east-west stats, whose analytics against odd man rushes are strong. Because that's the team they've been the last few years, right? The chances they give up tend to be off the rush. The goals that go in tend to be sort of east-west goals more than the other kind. But they got a new coach here and somewhat of a new system probably. So I guess I'm asking you, Jay, do you go get a goalie that whose analytics set him up for last year's system if this year's system is going to be different? What do you think about that?
Well, that's the main question they have to ask themselves is DJ Smith, Mike Babcock, what system are we wanting? What are we going to be doing? Right? Because every team, like even Carolina's the Stanley Cup winner, like they gave up the most breakaways in the league. Every team has an area where you look and say, okay, we'll be susceptible to this. And you can't protect everything, right? It's delusional to think so. So which one are we going to give up the most? And if we have a goal, if we give up a lot of plays, let's say cross lot passes, right now, no one wants to do that, but are we going to be a team that's overly aggressive that might lead to more odd man rushes? Okay, that's fine. But then we need a goalie who's better on odd man rushes, right? Or do we need goalie where we plan on, where we might give up is below goal line. So let's find a goalie who's good on plays that start below the goal line. So with the analytics available to you today, you can look at it because there's some great goalie. If you could get Hellebuck, of course you get Hellebuck.
You just take him. Yeah, you just take him.
But for the other guys, I think you can be smart in looking at where did they excel in the areas that we're weak at, and let's go for a goalie that does that.
Yeah, sure. And there's a whole bunch of those names out there. Not like when you look at the names of guys that you think you could plausibly get, they all have holes. Like no one's, none of them are named Shesterkin or Sorokin or Hellebuck, like for the Oilers, where you think, oh my God, this guy, you get this guy, you win the cup. Even Billington, right? Or Binnington, excuse me. Even Binnington, like, there's some baggage there. Like he wasn't very good last year, but in the Olympics, he was fantastic. So every one of the guys that you look at when you go through the list, and I wrote a piece today, listed a whole bunch of guys. You look at every one, I can find a hole that something I don't like about each one of them, but you got to pick one. And I throw Connor Ingram on that pile. You got to find a goalie here, and you got to decide on one, and you got to get married to him here because, and the goal is that he's going to be better than Tristan Jarry. And if he's not, you're probably in trouble, Jay.
Yeah, or maybe Tristan Jarry's better because your players your players are based, or they're going to be better defensively now, right? That's the that's supposedly the theme here. They've said we want a coach who's going to be hard on us because we can't convince ourselves to play good defense, so we need a coach to do it for us. Which we can go into a whole conversation if that's an issue or not. But I don't necessarily love that. But either way, we'll see what happens for the Oilers and the next season. But the goalie position, like I look at Carolina, you look at Vegas, like those are two teams in the Stanley Cup. Neither one of their goalies is a top 10 goalie. Heck, I'd argue if they were in top 15. They played really well. Then you got to the Cup, and they couldn't make any saves till Brandon Bussey came in. So, that guy was picked up on waivers. So it's kind of where we're at with goal. All I know is if I'm the Edmonton, I am not overspending. Whoever I sign, I've already overspent on Tristan Jarry. I can't overspend on another goal.
Yeah, I mean, define overspending, but sure. If the names that are out there, they're all $4 million goalies tops,
Well, dude, that'd be too much. I mean, they can't afford. They only got $4 million cap space right now.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure you're going to get. Let's say Tarasov's a UFA, and you can get him. You think you get him for $2 million? UFA goalies in this market don't sign for $2 million. So Ingram ain't signing for $2 million.
Okay,
not happening.
Right,
so you're going to have to spend a little bit of money on your goalie. Like,
I might make I'm with you on that.
Ingram doesn't care what you spent on Jarry. Tarasov doesn't care what you spent on Jarry. That's not coming off of his paycheck. It's coming off of your cap because you made the signing.
Yeah, well, we'll see if he's going to get more too. I'm not sold on that. That'll be a fun little debate, Spec. We'll see. Have yourself an awesome day, and we'll see if the Elks are 3-0 tomorrow. Spec, have a good one.
Sounds good, Jay.
That's Mark Spector, the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction. When we come back, Eddie Steele. Speaking of small T-shirts, he's in studio next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. We'll talk a lot of green and gold.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you. Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
A huge thank you for making Sports 1440 the most listened to sports radio station in Edmonton. From Gregor to Carius to Low Tide, we've got in-depth analysis on all your favorite sports. We are Sports 1440.
Cattail Crossing Golf and Winter Club. Fun and friendly with morning rates Monday to Thursday. Just $65 for 18 holes with cart. $55 for seniors. Includes a $5 food voucher for dining at Cattail's Out of Bounds restaurant. There's early bird golf Saturday and Sunday. $50 for 9 holes with cart and snack voucher. 9 and dine Fridays after 4. $130 per pair for 9 holes cart and a $40 Out of Bounds gift card. Plus, Glow Golf every second Friday and bring your dog golfing on Mondays. Visit cattailcrossing.ca.
At Fountain
Fountain Tire, success is a team effort. They're committed to their team members and their customers. And that means treating your vehicle like it's their own and finding solutions that suit your needs. Because whatever the road brings ahead, they're on it with you. Visit fountaintire.com today.
Fuel prices got you down? Subaru's here to pick you up. Subaru's electric and hybrid vehicles will save the day, helping you go further for less. Prefer a gas vehicle? Subaru, Crosstrek, and Impreza are built to keep costs low without sacrificing capability. Crosstrek was named 2025 Auto Trader Best Subcompact SUV, and Impreza has earned top safety pick recognition for 17 years running. Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru. Visit Subaru.ca.
For decades, the pioneer spirit of Alberta has been exemplified in the chuck wagon racing legacy of the Dorchester family. And today, you can experience it every time you hit the links. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course is in top mid-season form. Enjoy the longer days on this historic 18-hole course near Pigeon Lake. Stunning views, reasonably priced, and only 40 minutes from Edmonton on newly paved roads. Play the course built with pioneer spirit and family pride. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course. Book your tee time today at dorchestergolf.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Get the Gregor special. Enjoy 20% off any regular menu order price. Enter promo code Gregor at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Game day continues on as the Green and Gold in Winnipeg tonight, 6:30, about an hour and a bit away from kickoff as they look to go 3-0. One game a day starting today, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday in the CFL this week. And Edmonton try to be 3-0. We shall see. Nick Anderson, that's the big one. He is out. But Brock Mogeson was here last year and played a lot of games, the middle linebacker, and he will start tonight for Edmonton. As we're going to get to our Elks Sport, brought to you by Go Auto, cars, vans, trucks, SUVs, you name it. They got it. Over 15,000 vehicles for you to choose from. You want to shop this weekend? It's rainy? Do it at goauto.ca as we welcome in Grey Cup champion, of course, regular co-host on the Kevin Carius show here on Sports 1440 and co-host on Elks Nation podcast. Eddie Steele joined us. Eddie, my man, how you doing?
Awesome, Gregs. How you doing today, man?
I am good. This Edmonton team has looked pretty good so far this season. And I like that they're like, hey, we didn't love our first quarter offensively. We didn't love our fourth quarter. Defense, I thought, kept them in the game for about the first 25 minutes. And that wouldn't have happened last year, right? I want to start with the secondary and just the difference we've seen. I remember you and I talking like last year. I was like, oh my God, they're like 12 yards off the ball. They're playing incredibly soft coverage. Now the guys, there's no rookies. They play more aggressive. What have you seen from the defense that's impressed you the most through two games?
Yeah, in all honesty, you're right with that continuity you're seeing in the secondary, guys getting to know each other. And that's a position where guys, and I'm kind of bullish on this, where I'm a defensive tackle by nature, and I'm hand in the dirt, head down, and just go against the guy in front of you. You talk to your defensive line partners, but it's more of an individual position. In the secondary, you got to be communicating. You got to be on the same page as the guy playing next to you, the same coverage, because things are happening so fast. You got to be able to switch up coverages and who you're covering on the fly, because the way that the slot backs and the receivers can come at you, it's fast now, Jason. So I'm seeing that they are playing more as a unit very well. Now, something that Declan and I really have noticed as well, and we hammer this on Elks Nation, is there's still a lot of easy completions that are taking place, a bit of soft coverage, right? The one difference, though, from this year to last year, yeah, there was soft coverage and they were getting carved up and then guys were getting it and running upfield. This year, sure, you're making the catch, but their tackling is far, far better this year. And that's one thing that as a whole defensively, their tackling has been really standout.
Mogensen is better than Anderson in coverage. Anderson's better at blitzing. No question in my mind. What about when it comes to just pure run defense? Who do you think's better?
Nick Anderson.
Okay.
No doubt about it, for sure. There's levels to this thing. And, there's a reason Nick is who Nick is in terms of coming out winning Rookie of the Year. Whenever he's out there playing, he's productive, extremely productive. The issue, though, with Nick
Can't stay healthy.
Man, you can't stay healthy. And what's the best ability now?
Bendability.
You got to be out there. And Brock has shown when he has the opportunity to get out there and play, he can make plays. And I really like Brock. And, unfortunately, but fortunately for Brock, this is a chance for him to go out there and maybe potentially take a job if he goes out there and stands out.
Yeah. So you look at the offense and Justin Rankin's numbers, trying to pump him for people to realize just how good of a start this guy's off to. 426 yards from scrimmage, man, in 2 games is ridiculously good. And so you are a D tackle, right? And you're lined up against Justin Rankin, and everybody knows they're going to want to try to run the ball, and he can run through the tackles just as well as he can through the outside. So that makes it difficult. It's the passing game where he's been crushing teams. The minute he gets, because, a lot of his passes, I think he has 145 receiving yards, but 143 are yards after the catch, right? So none of his passes are downfield. So they just want to say, it's almost like a running play, essentially, but it's deemed a pass. He just floats out. They throw it to him, and away he goes. And it's 6 yards, 8 yards, sometimes 60 yards. How do you defend him if you're the Bombers tonight?
You have to be disciplined with your eyes. In that passing game, you're right. They try and force him the rock by screen plays and things like that. But he's also there as a safety valve. Cody Fajardo scrambling, can't find anybody. Oh, I'll just dink it off to Justin Rankin, and he'll turn 5 into 15 just like that. Defensively, all eyes are going to be on him, right? And if you're smart and Winnipeg is a well-coached team over there, there's going to be multiple eyes on Rankin, which there should be. And quite honestly, there's a challenge to Coach Maximic, the offensive coordinator for the Double E, to get more guys involved, because it's not going to be sustainable to go through a full season. As amazing as Rank is and as an MOP candidate as he is, you can't go out and be a one-man show. And so far offensively, they've been a one-man show. Yes, Max got his couple of touchdowns on the year, but you have to get other guys involved, especially when the defense has multiple guys keying on Rank, because now there's opportunity to catch guys sleeping, catch guys in a low backside. Oh, you can hit a guy deep. So Coach Maximic, Cody Fajardo need to open up the playbook, open up their eyes to be able to take advantage of mismatches, because everybody's going to be focused on Rank, as they should be.
And he's caught 10 of 12. So he's targeted 6 times a game, and he's basically had 21 touches a game. Well, actually, he's had 10, and not a lot really, because I was looking at his carries. He's had about 20 touches per game. To me, that's where he's got to be at.
100%.
Right. So I really, it's because his plays have been so explosive that, no one else is doing anything. But Austin Mack has had 14 targets. So he's only caught 7 of 14. Keon Julian Grant's only caught 5 of 9. Austin Mack, now Fajardo did say overthrew him twice, so that was on him. Maybe it's the rain, I don't know. But I think they got to get the receivers more, but the shooters got to catch the ball, dude. Look at how many drops. I've counted 5 clear drops in 2 games.
Yeah, you're right. They do got to, once they get their mitts on it. Now, never going to be one for excuses, but they've played in terrible weather the first 2 weeks, which again is great to get your running back involved in the game. But I think the reality with this Double E offense is this is who they're going to be. Yes, it's going to go through Rank, but it's going to be a lot of short passes. It's not going to be an open down the field offense, passing attack like Hamilton. We're not going to see that.
No.
Cody doesn't have that in his arsenal. That's not who he is. Cody, it's so funny. We used this terminology the other day on the pod. Cody is a ball player. And not to throw shade at his quarterbacking abilities, but Bo Levi's a quarterback, a gunslinger.
Yeah.
Cody Fajardo's a ball player. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Mike Riley, he was a quarterback. He could sling it for 5,000 yards, but he was a ball player. And Cody's got that DNA in him, and that's what wins football games.
Yeah, it's funny, that broken play led them to the win, right? Broken play, but he managed to get into the end zone. But I look at Mathis, he showed so much potential last year, but it's almost like he's kind of regressed this year.
I know, and he's so big. Yeah. You want to get that big body and just high point it to him, right?
But it seems like when he high points, he can't hold on the ball. I don't understand it. I know that you're a defensive guy, but you played with a lot of, what do you think he's doing wrong? Because 3 times now he's gone up for the ball's in his hands. He's up high. And I don't know if it's because he broke his tailbone last year. And I wonder if he's I got to get my hands down, because maybe it's in his head. because that's where he broke.
Try to land soft.
Right. So I just wonder because
it's contested. They're contested, but again, you're 6'7".
Yeah.
You got to go and get those contested footballs. I know what Ed Hervey wants out of that position for sure. So you're right. He's got to get going. A lot of his plays though aren't in rhythm. They're coming off scrambles and just kind of Cody's got to spot him late. I'm not seeing a lot of rhythm. And again, the whole passing offense, we haven't seen much rhythm.
Yeah.
And that's, fair because it's been terrible weather they played in.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's definitely going to impact it tonight. It should be better. The Elks, now they did start slow last week and, maybe it's coming off the bye. I don't know. Winnipeg's coming off the bye then. So if you're Edmonton, if you win the coin flip, you're on the road. Do you automatically defer or do you like to take it and try to attack right away?
I'm aggressive. So I take it, I for sure would, unless the wind is playing a serious factor, then you would, think about deferring and then taking it in the second half. But speaking of coin toss, how about Malik Carney at the coin toss day? Boy, I've been there. I was telling Declan, I've been there out there sometimes. And it's funny. They would always send me out with a special teamer like Cal McCarty or someone smart. Now I'd always let Cal do the talking. You take it, buddy. Because it's easy to get in your head.
Yeah.
It's easy to get in your head.
Well, because he said at first, offense, but what he meant, he meant like we want in overtime, you want the ball last because you can gamble all the time.
You know what you got to do.
Yeah. So, and it was almost like the ref was like, "Are you sure?"
Second guessed himself. The ref gave him some grace.
Yeah, gave him some grace there for sure. So, because you heard it the first time, and it's like, oof. But it obviously lucked out.
How about you? What are your thoughts on the game? On his gut feeling, I personally think Double E are going to go out and put a good performance out there tonight.
I've been pretty bullish on Edmonton. Their O-line is so much better, right? Like, look at how many times Cody Fajardo's been hit this year. I think you can count on one hand.
Night and day.
Right? Like night and day. And so, you know what? It's not the O-line's fault and the weather. So I'll give him a little bit of grace on the incompletions, but I just look at the total offensive yards they're putting up. Now, a lot of that's Rankin because he's a sick player and he makes guys miss an open field, but
big
still.
Plays.
The O-line to me, even without Woodmansey, like it wasn't a huge drop off, right? So I credit to Ed Hervey. He said he was going to get their O-line better, and it's way better. My only concern is I want to see a killer instinct. Maximic's play calling the fourth quarter has been less than desirable for me. You get up, you got a 10-point lead with 5 minutes to go, and you just keep calling the same damn play. Like that's where there needs to be. And I get you want Rankin the ball there. I understand it. But the funny thing was Rankin barely touched the ball in the first 25 minutes of the game, right? So I'm like, maybe spread it out a bit. So I like Edmonton. I feel that Maximic's a little too cautious. They're like, hey, we're up 10. Let's get up 17 rather than just run the clock out.
100%. And I think what you're referring to is late in the game off that muffed punt when they got the ball back at the 8-yard line. Okay, give Rank his, heat check token first down handoff. All right, he's feeling it. But on second down, don't just run it back and do the exact same. You're at the 8-yard line. Go 5 wide. Spread them out. Go for the jugular.
Yes.
That was the biggest blunder out of the game that stood out to me out of the entire game was that second down play, how they just handed it off to Rank, just kind of waving the white flag. Yeah. We'll take our field goal.
Yes. I thought they're playing a little bit safe. And now there's also maybe a little bit of we trust our defense. And the defense came up big when you needed to, forcing field goals, right? That's what led them to the win in overtime. But I'm not going to do that all the time, right? Now, tonight against Winnipeg, if you're the defense, like, what have you thought about? I thought, you're up by 10 and you're only rushing 3 all the time, Eddie. There's even on defense, they're a little cautious. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. But you are in a sense. You're not wrong because this defense is not aggressive enough. But I talk about this all the time. You go back and look at us in 14 and 15 in second down, almost virtually every second down pass, we would rush 3, drop 9. But we had the dogs to get home. The dogs to those 3 down linemen were creating pressure. You have to be able to create pressure and to force the quarterback to throw on our own time, not his time. Because when you have 9 in coverage, that's a mismatch defensively. You're going to have a lot of guys double covered. But if you're not getting home, the quarterback's back there patting it. He's going to find someone open eventually. So the defensive line has to get home. So it's a combination of both. The players aren't doing it enough. They got to be more aggressive in the timing of the play call, essentially, too.
Yeah, awesome stuff. Eddie, appreciate you coming in, buddy. Have yourself a good one. Enjoy the game tonight. You're calling an Edmonton win. What's your gut tell you?
It's going to be a tight one. I'm thinking 24-22 Edmonton.
Oh,
tight in Winnipeg. The defensive line has to show up. I know you got a breakout here, but this game is going to be won or lost on the front four defensive line for the Double E. If they don't show up to play and stop Brady Olivier and that Winnipeg offensive line, it's game over.
Yeah, Carney needs to have an explosive game tonight, I think, for Edmonton.
And Robbie Smith.
Yeah, Robbie Smith.
Got to feel these guys now.
Yeah.
They don't got to go and get a billion sacks, but you got to feel their presence. And we haven't felt them in 2 years.
Yeah, that's totally fair. Quick break. We'll come back, wrap things up on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Did you know there are actually 3 seasons we experience in June? Spring, summer, and construction season. And while roads may be narrowed and detours are everywhere, GS construction crews are on site every day doing the work because the city doesn't stop, and neither do we. As we build and upgrade infrastructure, life continues around us. That's why we never lose sight of what matters most, making sure everyone, including our team, returns home safely at the end of the day. For more on what we do, visit gsconstruction.ca.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Say hello to your new favorite drinks. Introducing new McCafe Refreshers. Icy cool, undeniably refreshing, and available in 3 flavors. Strawberry watermelon, mango pineapple, and blackberry passion fruit. Only at McDonald's.
A huge thank you for making Sports 1440 the most listened to sports radio station in Edmonton. From Gregor to Carius to Low Tide, we've got in-depth analysis on all your favorite sports. We are Sports 1440.
There's still time to book your tournament at the Ranch Golf and Country Club.
As one of Alberta's top tourney courses, the Ranch makes hosting fun and easy for any group or business. No matter how unique or unusual, they'll accommodate your vision for an event no one will soon forget.
Start planning your tournament today at their beautifully landscaped course on the outskirts of West Edmonton. On-site event coordinators are here to help, but hurry, availability is limited and booking fast.
Visit theranchgolf.com.
It might have been scraped by the snowblower, dented while door crashing, or crunched at the company Christmas party. At some point over the winter, your car was damaged and it's been hiding under a coat of winter grime.
Then come and see Robertson Body Works. We can take care of the damage and the dirt. This week only, call and book a repair and get a complete auto detailing absolutely free.
But you have to book your appointment before the week is up. Go to robertsonbodyworks.com.
I'm Tim Robertson, and I fix cars.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth. Fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
Ready to upgrade your ride this spring? Come on down to the Golf Cart People. They're a family-owned and operated business that's been serving the community since '97. Whether you're looking for a brand new or quality pre-owned cart, a rental for a special event, they do that too. The Golf Cart People have a huge selection of parts and accessories, and their expert service team is here to keep you rolling. The Golf Cart People, your one-stop shop for everything golf cart. Visit golfcartpeople.com.
Looking for mental health or addiction support, but not sure where to start? Contact 211. 211 Alberta can help you navigate treatment and recovery options, counseling, crisis services, and more. And because life's challenges are often connected, they can also help you find food, housing, and employment support. It's free, confidential, available 24/7, and offered in more than 240 languages by phone. 211 Alberta. One number, countless connections.
A message from the Government of Alberta.
Here's what you need to know about Lux Windows. We work hard. We come in early, we stay late, we go above and beyond, and then we go a little further. Not for awards or a pat on the back. We work hard so that choosing our windows and doors is an easy decision for you. It's the Alberta way. It's the Lux way. Everything we are is windows and doors. A company born and bred and made in Alberta.
Wendy's 99-cent Frosty is back, and Frosty farmers couldn't be happier. Made with Canadian dairy, they grow up cool, creamy, and mighty thick. It's farm to Frosty. Get a small 99-cent Frosty until August 2nd at participating Wendy's. Texas Extra.
Looking for mental health or addiction support, but not sure where to start? Contact 211. 211 Alberta can help you navigate treatment and recovery options, counseling, crisis services, and more. And because life's challenges are often connected, they can also help you find food, housing, and employment support. It's free, confidential, available 24/7, and offered in more than 240 languages by phone. 211 Alberta. One number, countless connections.
A message from the government of Alberta.
Portions of this hour brought to you by CanTorque. Made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at www.cantorque.com.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We roll through Thursday afternoon. Oh, little Madonna. Declan Kruger, big Madonna fan. I love it. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Got a few texts to get to. Hey, Greggs, I'm curious about the Elks. What do you think it's going to take for fans to come back? Well, fair question. I thought we saw fans come back last year, right? They had 28,000 for a game. They had 29,000 for another game. Winning will help. No question. Nice weather will help. Like, I don't think it's fair to compare a once in multiple decade World Cup game to a game against Elks. Well, everybody came out in the rain for that one. Well, yeah, because it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, right? You can go to an Elks game again next Thursday, the 9th, or you can go, the week after, 2 weeks after that, or actually the week after that on the Friday, the 17th. So it is a little bit different. It's an organization that obviously has to win back some fans. I thought we saw it last year, and winning will definitely help. And the combination of it doesn't need to be great weather. Just like that was a massive monsoon. I think if there's chance of rain, whatever, 20% chance, people will still go. So the Elks, they're on a 2-game road trip now. They're into Winnipeg. Then they come home, practice, and they'll go out to BC. You split those games, and now you're 3-1. Even at worst case, you're 2-2 after 4. It's still way better than you've been for a long time. I would think if it's a nice day out against the Ottawa Red Blacks on their next home game, you should get a pretty decent crowd. And then the momentum will build. Lots of Saturday afternoon games are big draws. So there's a combination of a lot of things. I don't think it's just a snap your finger and everything comes back at all. So we'll see where it goes, I think, for the Elks. But Deck, what are your thoughts? Like I never criticize fans. People are choose. I'm not going to say, oh, you're not a good fan if you don't go, right? Everybody has their own reasons to go. There was a lot of damage done. Losing, bad weather. I think there's a small percentage of people who the name change impact them, but that's not changing now. So if you like football, then you go. And if you don't like it anymore, that's fine. I do think that like the tailgating has really helped the organization. I think the having the kids come on the field after the game has been a great decision by the organization. they've made some good ones, and I think they could probably make even more moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, to compare it to the World Cup it's just beyond apples and oranges. Like, of course, I didn't hang out with my buddy John for the 6th night in a row because I was going on a date with Margot Robbie. That's what happens when things like that come up. As far as the things you mentioned, like the name change, obviously a small factor, the tailgating, stuff like that. Like, I think the Elks right now are doing so much better than prior regimes of making an event of game days and making it something that isn't just like, you're not just going to come up and you're going to see a football game, but like it is going to be a time. You are going to plan your day around this. It is going to be, like I said, an event. Obviously, that comes with the tailgating, that comes with the theme nights they have. So I think all those things factors in. And, some people probably haven't caught on yet. That'll come with time. But I think that's kind of the overarching sentiment that stands with the team now.
Yeah. Here's some late changes for the Bombers. Tua Eli is going to start at center, and Tyler Ellsbury is going to start at right guard for them. So a little bit of movement on the O-line for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers tonight. We'll see. Watch for that. Like, the center position is key on the O-line, calling the plays, everything else. We'll kind of see how they do. Can Edmonton disrupt it? Because I agree with what Eddie said last segment. You need to kind of feel the D-line. The defense has played good, but I think the secondary has had an impact. Now, getting off the ball in the rain, I do think that's probably a slight disadvantage for the D-lineman. So tonight, that shouldn't be there. You do need to see Robbie Smith make an appearance. What have you thought of his game so far?
Oh, like, he, at some point, it can't just be talent with him. At some point, we need to see shades of the guy we saw in Toronto. And like that Grey Cup game he had for Toronto, incredible. One of the best games a defensive lineman has played in the Grey Cup in the last little while. His career high for sacks in a season is 6. He got his first contract here with the Elks on talent. Didn't really do anything. Did get hurt. Got another huge payday, again based on talent, and we're still not seeing the results. So yes, the talent is great. I would love to be that talented myself, but at some point, the results actually have to show up on the field, and they really haven't with Robbie through, I'm not going to call it 2 seasons because he was hurt, but a season, if you want to call it that. Like, it just, at some point, there needs to be more than, boy, this guy just puts up really great combine numbers. Like, you have to produce on the field, especially when Malik Carney is the other defensive end that you're playing with.
Yeah, because he's facing a lot of the double teams, no question. So I'm kind of curious to see. I think Brinkman's been very good for the Elks. Like, you just watch him and what he's forcing. But you look at quarterback sacks so far. The Elks have 1 in Noah Curtis, and they're not a real sack defense per se. But even if you just look at defensive tackles. Right, they're not getting a whole bunch. Brinkman's been the one guy I think who's been involved the most on the D line. So I'd like to see more from him. Even Malik Carney, he's been good, but I think he can be better. So he did obviously have the one forced fumble, so that helped. But we'll see tonight what they can do if they can go 3-0. Hopefully the Elks start better than the Jays. The Jays are already down 6-0, but it's only in the 3rd inning. You're going to listen to that game coming up after a Declan Kruger Sports 1440 update brought to you by Hire Good. Quality jobs, create quality lives. If you're looking for great quality work, go to hiregood.ca. Have yourselves a wonderful Thursday evening. We will talk to you tomorrow. Bro.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
News from around the NHL as the New Jersey Devils have acquired Declan Chisholm from the Washington Capitals, sending a 2027 4th-round pick. Back, Penguins have acquired Hendrix Lapierre from the Washington Capitals as well in exchange for a 2027 3rd and a 2028 5th. CFL Week 4 action will get going in about half an hour's time as Edmonton looks to move to 3-0 on the season, taking on the Blue Bombers out in Winnipeg. FIFA World Cup scores from earlier was Ecuador over Germany 2-1 and Ivory Coast over Curacao 2-0. Right now, Netherlands leads Tunisia 2-0 at halftime. Japan and Sweden tied 0-0. Toronto Blue Jays are currently in action. They're trailing the Rangers 6-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. Astros and Tigers tied 0-0. Nats lead the Phillies 5-0. Yankees lead the Red Sox 1-0. And finals from earlier today saw the Rays over the Royals 13-2, the Pirates over the Mariners 5-1, and the Athletics beating the Giants on the road 9-6. I'm Declan Kruger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app